Oh, shoots. Well, looks like I screwed the
Right the way, King Dick back here, and so before we start this video, I gotta get this mother humping thing out of the way. Mark Holmes is my daddy. Okay, that's out of the way. Ow!
Hold on.
Shut the fuck up. Shut all the way the fuck up until you reach the top of Shut Fuck Mountain, where there are no more fuck ups to shut.
Well, what's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Let me give a shout out to BetUS, who is sponsoring this live stream here tonight. Oh my goodness, my dad, he was 50-50 yesterday, so he broke even, had a great time and stuff, and hopefully we'll do better this week. Check out BetUS and use the promo code YouTube150 so that way you can get 150% matching up to $2,000, and you can do that 3 times. So if you put in $2,000, you got $3,000 as bonus money to bet. And let's get right to it. I see Sheila Neal. What's up, Sheila? How are you doing today? And we got Holly Pierce. Shout out to Holly Pierce, Sheila Neal in the house, Marco Dallas. What's going on? And let me give a heartfelt, warm welcome to Logan Motorsports. You know what? You're a real one, bro. You are a real one, showing up tonight after, all of the stuff that's going on with your team. Bro, it's funny because as we, Miami Dolphins here with the ball first going against Tennessee, moving the ball actually pretty good. And from what we've heard about Tua, there's no effects right now on him, and they may be making a decision sometime in the near future on whether, if and when he is going to play again. But I want to say it's funny to me because people who talk the most about me seem to also be the ones most concerned about me. I think he's an Eagle fan. I think he is. Maybe he might be a 49er fan. But he's been emailing me all day, and he's been talking about, what you yawn all the time, because the Cowboys keep you up at night? It's unhealthy for you, this obsession you have with the Eagles and Dak Prescott. And I'm kind of like, wait, Regina Green, not King, Regina Green. Shout out to Regina. Quinn Lacey, how are you doing? And Lady Libra in the house. I said to him, well, listen, there's a couple of things that go on. I said, first of all, I want you to understand that I'm a person that is constantly, I'm Tennessee rolling. They're across midfield. I'm a person who's constantly busy, okay? You see me here on YouTube, and you know how many videos I do, which is insane to begin with, okay? But that's not the only thing I do. I cook, I build, I have construction work that I do for others. I'm constantly trying to improve here, the red brick house and stuff. And my body, you have to understand, my body is screwed up. Football, flesh-eating bacteria, construction work and things that I can't lay in the same spot for a long period of time. Something will go numb. Will it come back? Is it going to come back? Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think I think it's back. At the moment, hold up. We're having issues because of the storm that came through. So let's see. I may not be able to stream tonight. Let's see. There you are. Yeah, the storm that came through. Okay, the storm that came through ended up. It's been spotty. It's been off and on. So it may be I'm not able to stream tonight. Black screen. Okay, it's what happens when you miss the Eagles. Okay. So I was saying to him, I apologize that the stream is kind of messed up, but I was saying, I'm glad that you're concerned about my lack of sleep and stuff and my mental health. But see, you have to understand, for me, my life is good. My life is good. I'm here at this 200-year-old house that we renovated and everything else. Yeah, the Cowboys drive me crazy, and I talk about them consistently and things. But for me, it's therapeutical. So I appreciate you Eagle fans and you 49er fans saying that I have an unhealthy relationship with Dak Prescott, with YouTube and the Eagles and everything else. But here's what I'm going to say. As long as I am not infringing on somebody else's rights, as long as I'm not doing something illegal, how is it your responsibility to tell me how to live my life? Even if I do want to stay up 24 hours a day and do a million videos, why is that a problem for you? I don't, and I said to this person, I said, I don't, belittle you for liking a sorry ass team like the Eagles. Then why are you bothering me about what I do with my life? And, I've been told that, oh, you need to be humble. You need to leave the Eagles alone. You know what? For all I know, the rest of the season may be completely butt ugly. We may, not win another game. So I want to go through right now, and I want to make sure that I enjoy this week. Oh, because I don't know if I'm going to have other ones I'm going to be able to. But for now, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that I ride that Eagles ass. Pause. The one and only Ron the Don Smith, shout out to you, becoming a channel member. Not just a channel member, becoming a super fan. Oh, man. Let me add you to the drawing. The one and only Ron the Don. Because I tell you what, Ron, and this goes for all channel members, okay? Make sure you go to the community tab, okay? Go to the community tab and fill out the information. There's a message in there for channel members only. Because here's what let me show you, because I got work to do tomorrow. You becoming a channel member, you'll get, oh, nice run by Miami. Wow, Miami moving the ball. You will get a box, and in it will be a Jobu Star, okay? This is a stress ball, and a Cowboys Mafia shot glass, because the Cowboys make you drink. And so, Ron the Don, make sure you do that tonight, so we can get it out in the mail for you. I've got a lot of them we got to send out. I spent the day yesterday boxing up a whole bunch of them and everything else. North of the border, what's going on, my man? How are you doing? Right now, Miami already down on the 31-yard line. Big Benny, Rich, please do. Lola, what's up, Miss Hot Sauce? Let's get Miss Lola taken care of.
And I'm burning for you.
Shout out to Miss Lola. We're here a little bit early tonight, of course, because we got the early Monday night game. Lady Libra, Jameson Taylor, yo, what's up? Where's the community tab? Oh, if you go to the homepage, there's like posts for the community tab. Okay, so my homepage for YouTube, it'll say community, and you click on that, and that's like community post. Or I tell you what, if you email me, Cowboy, it's going across the screen right now, cowboysmark94 at Gmail. Email me there, and I can copy the link for you. Holly Pierce. Is it me or the Titans number a person with bad eyesight's dream? that could be. You may be right on that, Holly Pierce. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Okay, Ron the Don. Email me cowboysmark94 at Gmail. And I'll get you the link on that so that way you can get it done and I can get your information. I was watching Lord Brunson podcast and caught Darius Slay being interviewed by Micah Parsons. You know, they went off and I started trolling. I told you so immediately. They went off on each other. Oh, okay. You know, I forgot I had a roof leak. Let me see. Let me go back and see if they have Micah Parsons podcast. I had a roof leak that I had to take care of, and so, that camera went. Okay, so I got problems with my cameras and things right now. Let's see. The Wi-Fi is not helping a brother out here today. Okay, so, I'll tell you what, let's see. Let's get this thing. Okay, so we're having all kinds of problems with our cameras and things. May not be able to get this stream going good tonight. Let's see. Hold up. Okay, so y'all are talking about Micah. I got to hear this. I forgot about watching the whole podcast. Pete Rose passed away today. It's crazy. You know, Mutombo, no, not today. At 58 years old, passed away too, with brain cancer. This shit's crazy, man. So let's listen to these fools here.
Bro, y'all 2-2. Y'all like us, bro. We 2-2. We going through injuries, trials, tribulations, trying to overcome the, overcome the battle of, all the stuff that people don't realize goes on during the year at work. What would you say to those overreacting fans? Y'all 2-2.
I just say, man, just chill out, man. That's why I said it's 2-2. Definitely with a lot of injuries going on right now. Definitely our offense right now for sure is not the best of their ability right now. But I know on the defense side we could do a lot better to helping these guys on the field. But we will get that done. And like I said, we still trying to find our identity. That's what's right now. We're still trying to do. And over the bye week, we gonna get that shit together. So we good. We good, Eagles fan, Eagles Nation. We gonna be back.
I mean, they also question about Jalen with the turnovers. I mean, bro, I get that, bro, because we went through the same thing with that. People don't realize, bro, when you try and make.
You mean we had a broken thumb?
And not there. Mm-hmm. That come with the game. And then sometimes, bro, people just force fumbles. Like people, like I be trying.
Dak was never a big
this is
turnover.
The hardest sport to one of the hardest sports
Gibson,
to win. Shout
out to Miss Gibson.
Like, when it's in the playoffs, when it's in all that, you want to get one time to play them. It's not like besides your division, like unlike NBA and all them other guys, you get to play them multiple times over and over again. Like we don't see the, AFC. We don't see the Baltimore once every 4 or 5 years. Like people don't realize this, bro. Like it's the hardest thing to win. So like, tell them like, coaching like pretty something like the short period of preparation we get. It's like it makes it so much even more harder to win.
It's way harder to win in the NFL than any other sport for real. Because, like I said, we only play guys once every blue moon, except for your division. And like
I
going against a guy, you can figure out his moves. We got to figure out a dude moves within 20 to 30 plays the rest of the game. Because if you don't figure it out, that means you locked up for the rest of the game, or I'm getting burnt up for the rest of the game. Either way or the other. But yeah, man, it's a hard sport, and then you got to perform like that during the week during practice, because it ain't easy during practice. Practice hard as hell too, shit. And like basketball, they kind of use games for sometimes practice because they got so many games. You know, they got 82 games. Them guys don't really take preseason and stuff like that as serious as we got to, because they use some type of, they use some games for some preseason games, some real deal games, because they can still make the playoffs making 30 games and winning 40. You know what I'm saying? It's wild. Over here, shit, you got a small opportunity, small window, man. You better make it happen.
Are you kidding me? My cameras are. Everything is the Wi-Fi is sloppy start for both teams. You're right, and I haven't been paying that much attention to it, but I keep getting problems with all my cameras. My cameras are all Wi-Fi enabled. I'm going to try this a little bit longer and see if it'll work, but it's killing me right here because I keep having to restart the cameras, and I'm wondering if I need to reboot the Wi-Fi. Will Levis gets the first down. I'm not sure I like this. Alicia, what's up, Alicia? Over there on the other channel. David Cowboy. Micah's a little slow, bro. I don't really think I like that. Micah Parsons and Slay on his podcast. See, here's what you have to understand for me, okay? And it may be because I come from a different time. Back in my day, a Washington player was a Washington player. A Cowboy player was a Cowboy player. And, that was it. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You were a Cowboy. He was a Washington player. And because you were pretty much playing for the same team for the rest of your career, you didn't like each other. You didn't like each other at all. Now, I get it. Nowadays, guys work out in the off season. They don't look at themselves as a commander or a cowboy. They look at it and say, who am I going to get paid by? I get that. But this is just, ugh. All right, let's look at some more of Micah's. There's something wrong for me. There's something wrong about seeing Micah and let's hear him on his injury update. Let's hear him about his injury update.
Yes, tragedy struck, man. It's tough. It's tough being in a situation. Obviously got rolled up on. But it's football. Things happen. I'll be okay. I'll be back. And I can't wait to get back with my team and, get rolling. Because, this is just a small injury. Praise the Lord. That was nothing serious. And, I just can't wait to play. So, I'm good. And that's all that matters. I'm just, like I said, I'm just thankful because it could have been worse. People thought it was worse, and I'm just happy it is what it is. It's a sprain, nothing too serious, and I'll be back playing.
Okay. Let's see what else we got. Okay, that big play Slay one.
Who's your top 5 right now? Since you said that,
My top 5 right now?
yeah.
Oh, easily Pat. That's my favorite one. You know what I'm saying? I love Jair. Jair is one of my favorite ones too. I like Ward, Denzel Ward, Trayvon, and Sauce for sure. Sauce in there too. They ain't in no order though. There's not no order. This is big five I'll be watching a lot.
Why are you so high on Pat?
Pat? Oh man, he's so smooth, man. I tweeted him his rookie year and like, hey, this man gonna be the best corner in the league too, because he was so already. You can see all his technique, his fundamentals. It was already there before like anything. I was blessed with some God-given ability that I was just faster than a lot of people. Easy, like I was just using God-given. This boy, he was using technique at year one. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was like, and the next thing you know, year two, we already calling him the best corner in the league at the time. So I'm like, I told y'all that boy was different. But yeah, he nice. And the next one coming up too, Stingley. He up next. Like Stingley going. Like he don't go. Like that boy got ball skills like a receiver. Yeah, he can go. He could go. And the one from Chicago, he ready too.
Okay. I'm having a hard time.
Is it time to have that conversation about Sam Darnold? I had a little bit with D Slay. I mean, he's hooping. His defense is hooping. I think this is kind of what it looks like when you kind of get those opportunities and you're surrounded by good coaching, good players, and, you know, you're putting that preparation and being relentless and not giving up and continuing your effort. We're going to continue to see this type of stuff, man. Super happy for him, bro. I mean, had
Queen Bella in the house.
day.
What's up, Queen?
You know, like this is kind of the guy that, you know, the Jets, you know, considered they was getting in the draft, and he's performing at that level now. You know, obviously being around some great coaching trees, right? Came from San Fran, now he's in Minnesota. So obviously he's played in two great systems. Probably improved his knowledge a lot, but kind of like you can't ever stop learning the game. And obviously you kind of see that with Sam Darnold. Obviously didn't have early success, but creating that later success around great coaches, great players, and you kind of see it paying off, man. That's why you kind of always got to continuously be relentless in pursuit of greatness. Like you can never stop trying to be great, even though you'll never reach it. You know, and you're talking about a guy who was, you know, probably picked up for a backup role because they drafted a quarterback, but turning that backup role into like, he's a legit starter. Do the Vikings hold on to him and, you know, keep their rookie? Or, you know, like, you just don't know how it plays out. Or does this guy go earn a big payday somewhere else after this year? Like, you just don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see. But this is what it means when you take advantage of your opportunities. And, you know, you kind of mentioned, you know, MVP favorite, man. It's tough. But right now, he's definitely in that category. I don't think he's too far off. I think comeback player for sure. MVP, you know, I don't know. It's still very early. We don't want to, you know, reach on too many things, but he's in the conversation. He's right there with a lot of, you know, other elite guys.
William, you got to
right now.
Yeah, because Dak ain't about all that.
He's playing like a top 5, top 7 quarterback. Am I saying he's one? You know, he's playing like one. That's all that matters. He's playing like a top quarterback. He's playing like a quarterback who can win games, and that's kind of all that matters. You know. Trying to, you know,
perfect.
Dictate them right
the
now.
one and only
like
Ron.
I'll get it.
The
whole season.
Tracy handles all that, and I'll get it tomorrow. So I'm going to be printing labels out for everybody.
And you know, to get up there with guys like Mahomes, you know, Lamar, obviously multiple playoff wins, appearances, you know, it's tough. So you know, I'm not going to jump the gun, but the Vikings do look like one of the best teams in the league. You know, I think they've been in dominant fashion.
Some people are asking how come he doesn't have Dak on, because Dak probably looks at it and said, "Man, I ain't got time for that bullshit. I ain't got time for that. You know, I'm here trying to be the best player I can be right now, and I don't need the controversy. Sorry, but I look at this and I say, this ain't helping us win games." Right, Holly. He's probably too busy. And I'm sitting here like, you know, I know how hard it is for me to try and keep up with what's going on in the NFL and things. How you keeping up with how Sam Darnold and I'm sorry, Micah. No disrespect. I hope I see your dad at my tailgate and everything else again, but bringing Big Play Slay on. They make the playoffs, but not the Super Bowl. Dak said, I ain't worried about YouTube. You're right about that. You're 100% right about that. Dak's like, I ain't got time for that. This game is pretty ugly so far. First quarter, 3 minutes and 32 seconds left. This is garbage time talk. And, well, winning cures everything. And Derek Young, what's going on, Derek, over on my other channel? I appreciate that. Winning cures everything. And thus far, I'm not sure that we're right now, Micah's got 1 sack on the year. Now he's injured. Logan Motorsports. Well, Philly 500 said, I don't need him. He's like, thanks, but no thanks. Let's see. Are there any other takes here? Okay.
I just look at Derrick Henry as someone who might have been. It's actually crazy, right? And we talk
Let's
about
see if he throws the Joneses under the bus.
I think Derrick Henry is before his time. Honestly, bro. I mean, I think he's going to be one of the last. I think he's going to be one of the last guys to reach 10K yards. And I think, honestly, prefer like Derrick Henry. Like, he's going to be one of them guys who can continue to have this success for a very long time. Like, he take care of his body. He talks about his diet and what he puts in. I see the guy work out.
Nice tackle.
Work down with Big Melvin, downtown Dallas. I mean, bro, like, this guy is serious, bro. Like, this guy is the guy. I think he's before his time. I think obviously he's a Hall of Famer, but you look at what he did in high school, right? I think it was something absurd. He had over 400 carries. I mean, he was averaging like 50 touchdowns in a season. I mean, and then you go to Alabama and you're in there,
50 touchdowns in a season.
You're in there with Mark Ingram and I mean Bo Scarborough. I mean, the guy's RB room was insane. Then you come to Alabama, then you put the NFL on fire. I mean, this guy continuously over the past 10 plus decades of this success and what he's been able to accomplish, bro. I mean, kudos to him, bro. And I would say Derrick Henry might be our last true big back. But, man, we appreciate him because it gives us hope for guys like me, the guys that want the ball, want to run the ball. So we appreciate you, D. Henry, bro. Like, for real, like, for what you gave to the game, what you put into it, bro. Like, you're a true hero to the big backs and all running backs, bro. I mean, the guy's more than just, a big running back, but he's an incredible person. He does everything the right way, and just how he's been able to sustain all these hits and had continued success, and he's going to reach 10,000 yards, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer. It's just so impressive, bro. So impressive.
What's funny is I've heard, I mean, they're showing clips of this, so I haven't seen the whole show. But you're out here. I guess that's all the clips that we have of it. But you're out here praising all these other teams. Where's the love for your own team? You know what I'm saying? Mike has nothing to do right now, so there's the podcast. I understand that, but damn, you're out here praising and chucking it up with Big Play Slay. You're talking about how good Sam Darnold is and Derrick Henry. Do you have anything good to say about our team and our players? Any insight on that? As a Cowboy fan, I don't. The last thing, I mean, no disrespect to Micah. Okay, he's free to do whatever you want. Mark, earlier I was trolling the other Eagles channels, and they're saying they want Nick Sirianni and Kellen Moore fired, and they're also talking about Big Play Slay on Parsons podcast. Yeah, I don't think anybody is happy after to see that. But then again, I guess, they always say those who live in glass houses shouldn't be the first one to cast a stone because, Lord knows I'm on, an Eagles podcast, but, I'm hold on. Let me think about what I'm going to say here because I don't want to offend. So just give me a second to think this through. Okay, let me try to make sure I say this because I love Micah Parsons. Okay, Micah Parsons is an incredible player. And Micah Parsons is a grown-ass man who is a multimillionaire who can do anything that he wants to do, okay? And I can't look at him and say, you shouldn't be doing a podcast because, I've got my own business too, and I do a podcast. I do videos while I'm working at my job, which is, I'm self-employed though. I'm not only the client, I'm the player president of my own company, but be that as it may, I do this. And for me to say Micah Parsons having Big Play Slay on, is kind of like those who are living in a glass house because on Wednesdays I go on the Dan Saleo show and, so on. But I will try to say there is a difference because I'm not there to pump you up, okay? I'm there killing the Eagles. I'm going to tell you, when I go on the Eagles podcast, now make no mistake about it, Philly 500 is my dog, okay? Philly 500 and me have both been through some different shit and things behind the scenes that y'all don't know about, where we've been there for each other. We are cool as people. But when it comes to our teams, you see how vicious Philly 500 has been with me, right? When I go on the Dan Saleo show, I'm not there pumping them up and, kiss, no, you Eagles. No, I'm in there because I'm trying to kill them. I'm going to tell y'all what the skit's going to be, okay? If you watched last week where they were laughing at me and I was drinking, good old Zaya rum here, had quite a few drinks. I'm going to be drinking this time too. But see, this time, I'm gonna do me a nice mixed drink. I'm gonna get a little lemon twist, maybe a lime twist in it. Might even put a little umbrella, little straw, and I'm gonna sip on it, and I'm gonna try and make them cry. Okay, I am going to try to make them cry. I'm not gonna be there to pump them up like Mike is pumping up Derrick Henry. He's literally look. We feel stupid as shit right now because Jerry Jones literally last week said, well, we couldn't afford Derrick Henry. We couldn't afford Derrick Henry, and everything else. And we proved that we could have, right? Micah Parsons here going on his podcast telling us that Derrick Henry, could be a generational player. He's the last of the big dogs, that he takes care of his body, that he's going to do incredible things. That's like literally telling your child, you can't have any candy. Johnny, you can't have any candy while you're sitting there eating some cotton candy. Johnny, candy will rot out your teeth. You can't have any. You can't have any, Johnny. As I pull off a piece. You know how good this cotton candy is, Johnny? But you can't have any. Look, we can't have Derrick Henry. And here it is. We got Micah Parsons telling us how great he is. What? I don't want to hear this. And now you're talking about Sam Darnold, a team that's 4-0 and praising him. Well, let's have a conversation about Sam Darnold, about how great he is. As we're sitting here 2-2. I don't want to hear about how all these other people are doing great things and we're ass. I don't want that. Johnny want a rib too? Oh, man. Hey, Rhonda, how much for a rib? I'm sorry. I bet you, although, now here's the other side of the equation. here's the other side of the equation that I was trying to impress upon when I was telling you guys about this person who's literally like, you're obsessed with the Eagles and you're crying this, that, and the other and doing all these videos. Rule number one of the media is to get people to watch. It doesn't matter if they're coming to watch because they love you or they hate you. As long as they come and watch, that's all they care about. And if you've got Lord Brunson cussing out Big Play Slay for being on Micah Parsons' podcast, and I'm sitting here lambasting Micah Parsons and saying, bro, what are you doing teasing me about Derrick Henry? Then you've passed rule number one. We watched. We created, rule number two, create a reaction. Create a reaction. Whether it's sorrow, people are sad, oh my God, did you hear about this story? Take a look, oh my God, it's so sad. That's a reaction. Anger, yo, bro, did you see what they said about us, man? Look at this, look what Stephen A. Smith said about our Cowboys. That's outrageous, right? That's a reaction. Or something that's just so beautiful, it's the perfect sunset. Oh my God, I've never seen something so beautiful. That's a reaction. And that, my friends, Micah Parsons got down the social media because last week I literally sat around with you guys waiting for his podcast for him to do the walk of shame. 2 hours. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Mike and Linda in the house. Shout out to Mike and Linda. Yeah, this Monday night game right now with Miami and Tennessee up 3-0 in the second quarter. It's kind of ugly. So I don't know. I don't know if this is Micah Parsons looking at broadcast career after the NFL, maximizing his exposure because you only have, certain amount of time to, in football that you want to figure out what the next thing is. You don't know, right now, we don't know if Tua's career is about to be over. So you want to make as much hay, and I can't disrespect the man for trying to make his hay. I switched to I got another hang on, let me turn on the other TV. Hold up. Okay. All right, so we got the other game on, or about to be on. It hasn't started soon. So I got 2 TVs on in front of me. So that means I've got 5 screens that I'm actually looking at. Marcus Blackman, Cowboys Nation Strong. It's just starting right now. So I don't know. I actually, listening, I don't know if you guys heard DeMarcus Ware today. DeMarcus Ware talking to him, basically sending a message to him about throwing his teammates under the bus and talking to him about leadership and things like that. I feel like Micah Parsons, who is an nice tackle, man, it's ugly, but damn if they ain't throwing people left and right. Micah Parsons is an incredible talent, but being a talented player doesn't necessarily mean that you are a leader. And that's where the Cowboys need to figure that out, or he needs to figure it out, of being a leader. And, you remember last year where Malik Hooker was kind of like, when the team can't tackle, and you're doing your podcast, and to me, you're being super friendly with Big Play Slay, bro, this, I don't think it's a good look. I don't think it's a good look at all. But, again, I can't it's not my place to tell another person how to do their job and their career and so on. He can do anything he wants to do as long as it's okay with the Dallas Cowboys. And apparently the Cowboys, the Cowboys are okay with what he does. Derek Young, you agree with me 100%. Amon, what's good? Not the podcast of Micah Parsons. I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it. Not feeling it at all. 49er fan, we need the Seahawks to lose, Mark. I need the Lions to lose, bro. I got the Lions coming up in a couple of weeks here. So, you on your own. You know what, 49er fan? I'll never, ever team up with you, bro. Never. Unless it's against the Eagles. Against the Eagles, I can. I can against the Eagles. But that's the only time. No, I'm serious. Other than that, no. So, this should be a good game. Mark, talk to me. What are we going to do about our defense for the next few games? Okay, so, here's the reality. Let me pull up Micah Parsons' stats. Because Micah, believe it or not, has not been Micah of last year at the moment. Micah has had 1 sack. I think. Yeah. Here's what we got right now with Micah in 4 games. He's got 14 combined tackles, okay, 11 solos, 14 combined, 11 solos, 3 assists, and 1 sack. Now, he does have a lot of pressures. I'm not going to lie and say he doesn't. But thus far, he has not been a game, he has not been the machine that he has been in past seasons thus far in the system. This is where we got to be a team. We got to get guys playing, a little bit more than what they usually do. And we'll give some young guys an opportunity. Goldston, you've been the protege for years. We need to see something from you. Marshawn Nealon, they said you're D-Law-esque. Let's see you be D-Law-esque for the next 8 weeks. Let's see what Goff can do. Commanders beat nobody. Yeah, but in the NFL, it doesn't matter if you're beating, bad teams or not. They're getting wins. They're stacking them up. Commies are legit this year. Okay, here we go. We got the Lions with their black unis on tonight. Second and 8 from there. Super Sports, Ricky. What's up, Super Sport? Shout out to Super Sports Ricky. Eagles or 49er, who you dislike more? Oh, my God. Bro, asking me who I dislike more. Asking who I dislike more is saying, do you want a bullet to the head or to the chest? Bro, it's going to kill me either way. It's going to kill me either way. 3rd and 6. I will say that my hate for, Jared Goff lost big time. He kept going deeper and deeper and deeper. Oh, no, we don't have the big boy hip roll. Rhonda, how will you rate the big boy hip roll? Mark made a good point about Micah, who shouldn't call out his teammates. Could it be his team? Here, Rhonda. So hear me out here for a second. So you're calling out your teammates, right? You're calling out your teammates in public, but you're praising Derrick Henry, a guy who we all wanted here. You're friends with Devarius Slay, right? You're praising Sam Darnold. What the hell's going on here? This. I mean, as a Cowboy fan, I'm tuning in. I want to tune in to you talking about the Cowboys and what you are going to do about winning the next game. I don't give a rat's ass about Sam Darnold and how good he's doing right now, maybe turning his career around. I don't give a rat's ass about what Big Play Slay thinks are the best, players out there. I don't care about Derrick. Derrick Henry is dead to me because we didn't sign him. I don't want to hear any of that. Give me something about the Cowboys that says we are working hard and we are doing everything we can to bring us a championship. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to see. And right now, I ain't getting that. Nice catch. All right, we got Seattle with the ball. 1st and 10 on the 23. See how Ginger's doing. Bro, you got to catch that. Titans, man. Damn. Hopkins, you got to touch that. Let's go Lions defense. I think I want to see the Seahawks. There's also a flood watch has been issued until tomorrow, 8 o'clock. The river that's just down the street from me is supposed to crest sometime around midnight tonight. Jeff Lee in the house, but right now it's raining still. Bread, this game sucks. What a catch by Metcalf. Okay, Seattle coming out here like gangbusters. If you encounter flooded roads, most flooded deaths occur in vehicles. There's also a flash flood watch that has been issued for Augusta and Central Virginia, Blue Ridge until 11 p.m. That's us. Chris May in the house. How are we doing? I like the Lions' new helmets. We should get new blue helmets too. Damn. He took a shot on that one, on that sweep. Micah wants to be like Michael Irvin, liking all teams. Well, Michael Irvin can do that because he's retired. Okay. 4th down. Time to punt. Hit the legs. Okay. Vampire Prince. So far, so good, bro. It's been busy because I woke up. I'm glad. Thank you, Derek, for agreeing with me about Micah Parsons on that. It's kind of. I'm sorry. It's kind of crazy. Got up this morning, and one of our tenants said she's got water leaking in her ceiling, and I was coming back tomorrow, but we figured we needed to get back down here today because they're calling for a whole bunch more rain. And we had another tenant that limbs fell on the power lines and were hanging off of there. Fortunately, we got the power company came out and cut those up, but we got to move all the brush. So I've got work I got to do down here. But we have, those round vents that spin. The storm literally blew the top off of it, so it was wide open, so all the rain came right down through it. So I had to get up there and get it covered for now, and then when it stops raining, go up and put a new one on. So it was like, I got to go down here. And then I had another, I had to take someone to the doctor today to get checked out and things. So I had that this morning. So it's been busy. And then, of course, I got the usual trolls that are trolling me and telling me, I need to take it easy on the Eagles. I don't understand it. Eagle fans, okay? Now, Logan Motorsport, we haven't even seen Philadelphia. Philadelphia hasn't even shown up. I think management is going to have a big game. He's going to have 1 second any tackles for a loss. Okay. I think management. Okay. I'm not sure who you mean on management. Screen pass here by Tennessee 6-0. That might be all the scoring that they need to win. Mark Holmes and family. My daughter-in-law and 6 grandbabies are okay in Georgia. They have power. It rained hard, but no flooding. Oh, my God. Help me, Rhonda. Lovely Rhonda Sparks. Rhonda, can I get a read? I started talking to Sergeant Master Daniel. You guys know Daniel, who's been our driver and stuff on some of our trips, and of course coming to the house. They've moved. They've moved to Georgia, and he had been trying to call. I kept missing his calls. When I would try and call him back, I wouldn't get him. And today, while I was driving, I did get him this time, and he was like, "Bro," because Danny's got this kind of bro, deep voice and stuff. It's a little bit raspy, bro. He said, "Man, I had to hear your voice." I said, "What's going on, man?" He said, "This storm." I said, "Is everybody okay, man?" I said, "The tree falling?" He's like, "No, my house is okay." He said, "But, he's like, there's all kinds of houses around us that are damaged. There's roads that are closed." And he's like, "We have no power, and their estimated time for it to be back on is the 5th of October. I'm like, "The 5th of October?" He's like, "Yeah, man." He said, "Well, the good news is I got a generator." He said, "I got one at Home Depot." He said, "But the problem is," he's like, "I've got one gas can and it's 2.5 gallons. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, you go take the generator to the gas station, fill that up, fill up the gas can. You should be good and just go back and forth." And he's like, "No, it don't work like that." He said, "Here's the problem." He said, "Because so many places are without power, a lot of the gas stations don't have power to power the pumps." He said, "So you're in line like 2-3 hours to get gas." He's like, "You're not finding any propane. And a lot of the interstates and the roads coming in and stuff," he's like, "right now they're blocked." He's like, "It's like a war zone." And we're talking about a guy that's in the military. And he said, Terrence Harris, thank you for subbing to my daughter's channel. We had a lot of people who subbed to it and got her over 300, and then it dropped down just slightly below it. So she's a little bit short of it. But yeah, she's working on finding an apartment, in which case I'll be helping her move and things. So she's doing a lot of sponsored ads she's getting all kinds of different furniture and things. She's doing one with these lamps and things like that she's getting and things. And I got her dining room table in my house in the living room and stuff for her. But yeah, I'm proud of my kids. Lions on the move. Yeah, the Lions' black uniforms and those blue helmets makes them look faster. Hitting them long strides, dude was weaving down the field. Yeah, so down here, we left here Thursday. We left here Thursday about 1 o'clock. The storm started hitting here about like 2:30, 3 o'clock. And the power was off here at the Red Brick House for a day. And my in-laws for like a day and a half. It was like most of the city was out. And there was some flooding. And there still is. There's some buildings that are close to the river that flooded. And tonight we got a flood watch because the river, all the water that's been running down the mountains is now running to the river. And so it's supposed to start cresting around 12 o'clock tonight. The flood stage for the river, I think it overfills the banks at 9.5 feet. And it was like 8.9. It had gone down some to like 8.9. But I think they're thinking it's going to crest at about 9.7 after midnight. So we'll see. Love your sweet daughter. Big supporter of her 3 channels. Thank you, Rhonda. Up, Miami, big run. First down. All righty. Lions getting in scoring range. Oh, almost intercepted on the tip. What a run by the Lions. Oh, man. First and goal on the 4-yard line. Eugene, here's the thing. The NFL is truly a week-to-week league right now. Baltimore, last night, the beating that they put on the Buffalo Bills was insane. It was insane seeing that. What Buffalo was doing the first 3 weeks was incredible. The first 2 weeks, Baltimore couldn't get out of their way. The Eagles beating New Orleans. Actually, New Orleans the first 2 weeks. Now New Orleans looks like they got Derek Carr as a quarterback. So who's to say that the Cowboys don't get hot going down the stretch? Right now, we have the hardest stretch of the season, the next 5 games. After that, it gets easier. So anything can happen. All right, looks like Miami's going to settle for a field goal. Let's see if the Lions can punch it in. Okay, touchdown, Lions. Joe Boo's been down on that field many, many times. All righty. Lions almost missed the extra point. It's good. Montgomery doing his little Kim dance. Lions play calling is awesome. Well, what I'm hoping with the Cowboys, back to the question of whether they make the playoffs, I don't need the Cowboys to play incredible early in the season and then play it like ass in the playoffs. I would love to see the Cowboys start ramping it up. It's kind of like when you hear a band, like a marching band, when they go da dun 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 da dun 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 da dun dun dun, and they start picking up the pace. That's what I need for the Cowboys to do as the season goes on. If I look at Mozzie Smith, I can say Mozzie Smith, he has picked up the pace from the first two games where he was known as missing in action. No tackles, no pressures, no nothing. The last two games, 6 total tackles, a tackle for a loss, and beginning to do some things. McAfee dealing with an Achilles tendon in both legs, not just one. That's not good. Well, the Cowboys look like we're going to be dodging him because they're talking about him maybe back early October. So that's a major break for us because we know our weakness, of course. Call me crazy, but I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles make the playoffs. That's a possibility. I'm going to say that they've got the three stooges right now for coaches. It's almost, I almost wanted to laugh today when I was sitting there looking at some of the comments from Eagle fans that are saying they should fire Nick Sirianni and make Kellen Moore the head coach. I was like, please do it. Do it. Do it. Gino, let's go. Eric Willis, they're lucky the ball hit the inside of the goalpost. You're right about that. All right, we've got a snooze fest here, almost going into halftime in another 4 minutes. Tennessee 6-3. Let's run to Geno's, Mark. To Geno's. I haven't seen a Geno's in forever, if you're talking about the old Geno's restaurant. We miss Tony Pollard more than I thought we would. He's not making that much of a difference for them. Second and 8 here. Come on, Seattle. Come on, Geno. Drop pass. Well, if they face the Lions in Kansas City and win, then yes. Caveman, laugh out loud, Lola. No PI call, shaking my head. You know, they seem to be letting him play a little bit more than they used to. Seattle's on the move. They need to be. First down. I'm telling you, they used up all of the flags on our game last Thursday. That would be funny if they made Kellen Moore the head coach, because they will finally know it's Kellen Moore play calling. Oh, my God. Kellen Moore always gets a pass. It's hilarious to me. 3rd and 2 here for Tennessee. On Miami's. Oh, patted down. Bro, you should have caught that and went for 6. Oh, you sent Philly 500 a family pack from Pink's. Oh, man. You know, I thought he was going to be live streaming tonight. Let me see who is live streaming tonight. But he had a rough night the night before. We got Vosh talking Salt and Pepper Lounge. Eagle fans have a lot of questions. Urgent fans are going wild. No one expected this. Eagle fans crashing. Yeah, no Philly 500. I'm surprised. Philly, the podcast. Nope, no Philly 500. So we got people who want to bring back Amari Cooper. Seems like Amari Cooper has worn out his welcome. I'm new to the channel, but why are you such a hater? You have so much anger built up towards more successful quarterbacks, I guess. Bobby, you know what? It's not hate for other quarterbacks, bro. I'm trying to actually stop the hate and the one-sided shadedness that goes on. So Bobby Porter, you know, and to let you know, Bobby, welcome, Bobby. Lions are doing it up. Big run. He could go, oh man, all the way down to the 15-yard line. I actually unblocked you on this other channel when I was looking for Curtis yesterday, mind you. Here's the thing, or just answer yes or no. Is Dak Prescott getting paid, scrutinized more or less than Trevor Lawrence? True or false? Is Dak Prescott getting paid, talked about more or less than Deshaun Watson? Because mind you, Dak Prescott's contract pays him $1 million more than Deshaun Watson. Okay? Oh, no, it's Bobby Porter on my other channel. Different Bobby. Bobby over there says, I'm new to the channel, but why are you such a hater? You have so much anger built up towards more successful quarterbacks. It's not an anger issue, okay? Okay, Jalen Hurts right now has 3 TD passes and 4 interceptions. Has 27 turnovers, including 3 lost fumbles and 4 interceptions on this season. Leads the NFL since the beginning of last year with 27 turnovers. And my quarterback broke his thumb and 1 year was tied for first in interceptions, but still had one of the highest scoring offenses in the NFL. Who got talked about more about turnovers, Dak Prescott for that 1 year, or Jalen Hurts? Or, for that matter, Trevor Lawrence? You would think Trevor Lawrence doesn't make any turnovers because nobody ever talks about it. You would think that Trevor Lawrence never got paid, where they are literally, 1-9 out of their last 10 games? Right? Okay. The Cowboys lose to Baltimore 28-24. Dak Prescott has 2 TDs, no interceptions, throws for 349 yards, right? 349 yards. And everybody says, Dak Prescott's a loser. We lost because of Dak. But here it is, that same Baltimore Ravens team that beat us 28-24, beat Buffalo 35-10. Josh Allen has 186 yards, no TDs, and nobody says puts anything on Josh Allen. It's not anger towards Josh Allen. It's anger towards everybody who puts this thing out here like Dak Prescott is the reason the Cowboys lost to the Baltimore Ravens. It wasn't. And if you're going to say Dak Prescott was the reason we lost to the Baltimore Ravens, then you need to say that about Trevor Lawrence. If you're going to say Dak Prescott is a turnover machine, then you need to say Jalen Hurts is a turnover machine. If you're going to say Dak Prescott's playoff record, which is 2-5, is bad, then you need to recognize that Lamar Jackson at 2-4 is even worse. And if I look at the numbers of Dak Prescott in the playoffs, his numbers are actually really good in comparison to Lamar Jackson. So it's not a matter of I hate those guys. I'm trying to let you know, guys, what you're looking at is not what you're being told. Mark Lawrence doesn't have a CeeDee Lamb, and the team around him is so awful. Okay, so we got one guy. We got one guy, right? Right? CeeDee Lamb. We ain't got a running game. We don't have a second target. And mind you, CeeDee Lamb just got there. CeeDee Lamb just got there. See, and this is the other problem with it, Bobby. Here's the thing. Everybody will make excuses for Trevor Lawrence. I saw Deshaun Watson have a pass by Amari Cooper tipped up and intercepted, and Manuel Acho said, you got to look at more than just the stats. That's not on the quarterback. But when Noah Brown did that against the Jacksonville Jaguars, guess what? Nobody said, well, that's not on Dak Prescott. They just said, oh, Dak Prescott, another interception. Dak Prescott lost the game. That's all I'm trying to point out, Bobby. You cannot tell me that they talk about Dak Prescott in the same way they talk about others. When we say Dak Prescott sucks, well, what about Deshaun Watson? Deshaun Watson's best year was 2012 when he was on a team that went 4-12. Dak Prescott blows out a team. Oh, his points, they don't count. They're garbage time. They're garbage time. Well, I'm looking at Josh Allen yesterday who couldn't get any points in garbage time. I'm looking at Jalen Hurts yesterday who couldn't get any points in garbage time. Apparently, getting points in garbage time isn't that easy. People, all Mark is trying to do is bring light to areas that people look away. Thank you, Jorge. Unfortunately, misinformation and disinformation has been praised more than the truth by those who are mentally limited. Okay, here's what I'll say. Okay, I tell you what. Think about criticisms that have happened for Dak Prescott. Okay? Just think about when they criticized Dak Prescott, they said, he's a dink and dunker. He's a dink and dunker. Even though he was winning, Dak Prescott, he's a dink and dunker. Right? Have you heard in the time that they used to say that about Dak Prescott, and I think that was 6 years ago, right? Have they said that there's any other quarterback? Have they used that terminology on any other quarterback since they used it on Dak Prescott? Anyone. Any single other quarterback. Because you would now think, well, Dak Prescott, he's just a dink and dunk quarterback. We literally, Rashid, rest your soul, Rashid. Rashid, even a year ago, was still talking about, well, Dak Prescott, he's just a dink and dunker. He's just a dink and dunker. It's like, wait, what? Okay, so there aren't any more dink and dunkers? Everybody is throwing 7-8 yards down the field, right? Okay. Dak Prescott has one season of 15 interceptions. We literally had people counting interceptions in practice and reporting it on ESPN every single day. Oh, Dak Prescott had 2 interceptions in practice today. Right? Have they done that to any other quarterback in the NFL? Any other quarterback? Any other one? Seriously. Any other quarterback. Josh Allen's got more turnovers than Dak Prescott. They ain't never counted his in practice. They don't even talk about his during the season. Jalen Hurts' fumbling problem he had last year was so bad. How bad was it, Mark? That they literally doing fumble drills and beating him over the head with a broom. But they don't talk about him turning over the ball, even though he's turned over the ball 7 times already this year. Dak only had 15 interceptions, and it was like, oh my God, Dak Prescott, the turnover. I still have people, even after last year we had less than 10, that are still saying Dak Prescott's a turnover machine. Like there's no other quarterback that turns over the football. Seriously. Are they counting interception? Literally, Colin Cowherd went on to say last year, oh, well, I don't really count I don't mind interceptions so much because you can look at them as like a deep punt. Seriously? And here it was. I'm just sorry. You grade Dak Prescott on a reverse curve. Deshaun Watson, yesterday, his team let him down. You, Bobby, right there. Trevor Lawrence. Okay, Bobby. Bobby, you just hit the nail on the head. Yeah, he was the number 1 pick. He's got the look. The prince. So, of course he does. Because Dak is a top 15 quarterback making Pat Mahomes money. Whoa. Okay, so Ghostface Gaming. Stop right there. Because Trevor Lawrence is the number 2 paid player in the NFL. Number 2 paid player in the NFL. And has been a loser in 9 of the last 10 games he's been in. They were at one point last year in a position to be the number 1 seed, collapsed. And starting out this year to the point where his head coach is questioning whether or not he will start. That he has played that bad that he may be benched. Okay? Ain't nobody out there other than the talking heads say, bench Dak. Trevor Lawrence is not even a top 15 quarterback. He is number 2 paid. I don't want to hear this. I'm sorry. No. Deshaun Watson. You're going to try and say Deshaun Watson? You're gonna make him free. And let's go to another one. Garbage time. Dak Prescott is Mr. Garbage time. But here's the thing. Matthew Stafford, who played most of his career with the Detroit Lions that were always behind, where you could say literally every game was garbage time, they praise him and say, oh my God, he's one of the fastest players to 50,000 yards. The Cowboys blow out teams in their division. That was just garbage time points. Those don't count. Even though last year they were taking Dak out sometimes in the 3rd and 4th quarter and let Cooper Rush clean up. If they really wanted to have garbage time, they probably could have gotten to 40 touchdown passes and 5,000 yards. So my point, Bobby, and I don't mean to blast you, is I don't hate Matthew Stafford. I'm happy that he got out of Detroit alive and got a Super Bowl ring. I don't hate Josh Allen. I think that he's a little bit overrated. Okay? I don't hate Deshaun Watson, but I think he's way overpaid. And I thought when they paid him, looking at it by the way they judged Dak Prescott, that 4-12 season where he had 30 TDs and 4,800 yards, and they said he was a top 5 quarterback, I was like, bro, wasn't that garbage time? I'm trying to put this stuff into perspective, that instead of looking at this thing and just looking at Dak Prescott and saying, he just sucks, you don't go over 30,000 yards passing in the NFL and have over 200 TD passes by sucking. You don't. Hey, Ghostface Gaming, bro. Guess what? A lot of people got smoked by the 49ers last year, bro. They did. Stacy White. Shout out to Stacy White. Who cares about all these types of statistics? They don't equal Super Bowls. Being in Dallas and running into the triplets. I agree with you, Stacy. I agree. They don't. It's not equating to a Super Bowl. But here's the thing: is Trevor Lawrence anywhere close to a Super Bowl? Is Josh Allen? Is Deshaun Watson? Is Kyler Murray? None of these guys are. Is Jalen Hurts close to winning a Super Bowl right now? No. Mark, unbeknownst to many, appreciate the super chat. And I agree. But see, Stacy, here's what I'm going to say. I can't put it all on Dak Prescott. Not when we could have had Derrick Henry here to help out my quarterback, like Lamar Jackson has right now. Not when we could have had a Stephon Diggs to help take some of the pressure off CeeDee Lamb, right? Not when we could have gotten, another edge rusher to help my defense. But my owner says we can't afford people. We can't afford. So we're looking at Dak Prescott and comparing him to a team like the Eagles that say, let's go ahead and get A.J. Brown. Let's fix our offensive line. Let's get a Saquon Barkley. These things aren't equal. But he's still competing with those guys with lesser talent. I can look at the 49ers and say they've done everything in the world to support Brock Purdy. They went out and got Christian McCaffrey, who before this Achilles thing was the best running back in football. They got 2 great wide receivers. They got a great tight end. They've done everything to make him successful. I can't look at the Cowboys and say they've done everything they could to make him successful. In the past 3 years, I saw them take their number 1 receiver and their number 3 receiver and get rid of them and pay a guy on one leg. Pay a guy on one leg. Conference championships are not Super Bowls. They're not. But yet, Josh Allen hasn't made a Super Bowl yet, though, has he? Well, the Lions are looking like they're going to be beating the hell out of Seattle here. And sorry, Ginger. Ginger was nervous about this game. I don't think Seattle's built to come from behind. Oh, did I miss it? Okay. He's talking loud. He ain't saying nothing. Sugar Daddy won. Oh, I missed it. Pfft. Wow. I missed that. Okay, never mind. Take back. I wasn't paying attention. I was sitting here. Bobby Porter got me off in a tangent. Shout out to Gina. 30-yard TD pass. Dak has been here 9 years. He deserves a lot of the blame. There's nothing you can say that makes me think otherwise. Well, Connor, I tell you what. If I saw the Cowboys get Derrick Henry on this team and make some moves to make the team better, I'd be there with you. But going through and looking at what the Cowboys have been doing over the last 30 years, I can't look at that and say it's Dak Prescott's fault. I can't. Not when the Dallas Cowboys haven't done anything more over the last 30 years, bro. And I get it. Just like Stacy White said, what I'm used to seeing, Michael Irvin and Emmitt Smith and Charles Haley. Let me ask you this. Do you see any of those guys on this roster right now? I don't blame it on Dak or a single player. I agree the need for a full team, but focusing on these stats is a time waster. Okay, Stacy, I can agree with you, but here's one reason to put those numbers out there is you can look at it and say the quarterback's good enough if we can get people around him that are good enough to go ahead and get there too. honestly, I can't compare what I got on the field right now to what we had during the 90s or the 70s or even the 80s in talent. How many players do we currently have on this team right now that could have been starting in the 90s? And that's all you need to know. We ain't anywhere near talent-wise. Here's the interesting thing you say, Ghost Gaming, is Michael Gallup had one great year, okay? One great year where he had 1,000 yards. The last 3 years he was here, he kept going downhill. CeeDee Lamb, you had as a rookie with Amari Cooper here for 1 year, okay? Dalton Schultz was about an average tight end. Best season, 780 yards. And Zeke hasn't had 1,100 yards in 4 years. So you're putting up numbers right there. You're putting up numbers right there that, like, we had Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Zeke Elliott beasting a great offensive line, and Cedric Wilson. Cedric Wilson is only a 680-yard receiver. Cedric Wilson can't start on the Miami Dolphins since he left here. So, when I look at that versus George Kittle, when I look at that with Deebo Samuels, when I look at that with Christian McCaffrey, when I look at that with Brandon Ayuk, there's no comparison. Super Bowl Ricky, if we swap Dak for Hurts, we would be 0-4. That's a true statement right there. Super Sports Ricky, that is exactly, you are 100% right on that one. '49ers won as well. It's since we have. You mean they did win 5 previously before our last Super Bowl. That there is that. They should be the God. Bro, you are 100% right. They should have what they should have done was they should have put Michael Gallup on a 1-year deal along with Terrence Steele and say, let's see how they are after the ACL. Both of those guys, they signed to big deals because they thought they were getting a bargain and said, hey, we're getting a bargain. Let's sign them now, coming back from ACLs. Ooh, Jorge, I love that. Dak's been here 9 years, but Jerry's been here since '89. So who's more at fault? Dak's just part of the team. Jerry puts him on the field. Amen on that one. Damn. Carl, the reason I'm talking about Dak is because people are still saying Dak is the problem. I literally had people yesterday saying, oh, we should draft a quarterback in the first round next year. And I'm like, all the holes we have, you're talking about drafting a quarterback. That was like what we just did with Trey Lance. Marco goes both ways. Dak has had guys around him step up, and he's played bad. Let's not be delusional. I'm going to say people around him, 3rd and 8, they stopped him. I'm not going to say that Dak is perfect. I'm not. But I can look around the NFL and I ask you, who is a perfect quarterback? Because here's what I can tell you right now. Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl throws an interception within his own 30-yard line. His defense bailed him out and kept him from scoring any points. If they had scored points on that takeaway, they don't win that game. If their defense doesn't stop the 49ers from scoring, they don't win that Super Bowl there. So when have you seen our defense? We could easily go through and say the Cowboys versus Aaron Rodgers, where Dak Prescott throws 304 yards, 3 TDs. If they stopped Aaron Rodgers for 40 seconds, they win that game. They win that game. If the Cowboys on 4th down stops Jared Goff from running for 8 yards, they get the ball back with momentum. They probably win that game against the Rams. At some point, your defense got to do something too. And I dare say, like Trevor Lawrence, his one playoff win, he threw 4 interceptions in the first quarter and was down 27-0. From that point on, his defense only gave up 3 more points, and he had enough time to come back and win. Nobody looks and say, oh, well, that was garbage time. Not you, Mark, but those fake haters. Okay. We had a top 5 defense with Quinn and led before. Yeah, but Dwayne Sweeney, let me ask you this, though. When you looked at our defense last year against Buffalo, San Francisco, Miami, Detroit, and Green Bay, when they played those teams that could run the football, did you look at those those games and that defense and say, that's a top 5 defense? They're great stop and pass. Great playing with the lead. But I can't look at that and say that wasn't a little bit skewed. Dwayne, that's what I said, but anything to help the Lions, even though they got the TD. We had no business losing at home to Garoppolo. Well, unfortunately, we did. You know, you could go ahead and look and say, well, Dak, he ran the ball too far down the field and ate up the time. But I could also go ahead and say, if Randy Gregory doesn't tackle an offensive lineman and get a 15-yard penalty, giving them a first down, we get the ball back with a whole lot more time and better field position too. So you can find blame to go all the way around. Yeah, Dak was trying to do everything he could, but everybody's at fault when you lose. Connor, which players are you referring to in postseason that got separation to catch any passes? I'll tell you what, right now, tell me any players that are getting separation right now, including CeeDee Lamb. Right now, we are the worst in the NFL. Let me be clear here. We are the worst in the NFL in separation. CeeDee Lamb is the best with 2.2 yards. The NFL average is 2.6 yards. Pretty smart. Grade Dak as a first-rounder, and first-rounders get graded as sixth-rounders. Tua is underrated. It's so underrated. Okay, but if we're going to talk, okay, so Jonathan G. So let's talk about Tua for a second. Does Tua not have weapons? Does Tua not have weapons? Would you take the Cowboys' offensive weapons, or would you take Miami's offensive weapons? That's a real question. I think Nick Sirianni and Doug Peterson don't get fired before Mike McCarthy. Georgie George, how are you doing, buddy? They ran it down our throats and kicked us out the building. Can't do stopping the run game in those situations. I'm going for the Hawks. DK, my guy. All right, we got the Lions here. 1st and goal on the 6-yard line. And we're the 32nd ranked defense right now. Yeah. Yeah, the line's about to go up 21-7. Oh, boy. But we'll see what we're going to see. So there's a lot of chirping going on about Amari Cooper right now. Come on, Seattle. Touchdown. Yeah, I think it's going to be a long night for Seattle. So, there we go. Touchdown Lions. So all of my brethren out here, like Jay Tuck and stuff, are saying, we need to call about Amari Cooper. Oh, and speaking of making calls, I don't know if Eagle fans have gotten this or not. But Eagles fans have been talking about wanting to go back and get Hassan Reddick. Well, here's the problem with that. That's a no-go. You can't. Unfortunately, you can't trade back a player within 2 years unless he's played at least 4 games or played for another team. So they can't go out and get Hassan Reddick. So there's that. So Eagles, womp, 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 womp. Listening. Well, it seems to be people, okay, it seems like Amari Cooper and Deshaun Watson are, people are saying Deshaun Watson is missing passes and seems to be kind of checked out, which is kind of what he was kind of checked out when he was with the Raiders. And, of course, we had the falling out with Amari Cooper and Jerry Jones about the COVID shots and stuff. And right now, Cleveland is kind of free-falling. Cleveland starting out 1-3, they're recognizing that we need to go ahead and start looking towards the future. Unfortunately, with Deshaun Watson, here's what's amazing as we talk about Dak Prescott. They restructured Deshaun Watson's deal. They owe him $38 million this year. They owe him $72 million next year, fully guaranteed, and $73 million the following year, fully guaranteed. They can't move on from him. They are stuck with him. And so the thought is that they may decide to move on from Amari Cooper. Some of the thought is Kansas City losing Rashid Rice will be the spot that maybe that maybe they trade for him because they're in more desperate need. So we'll see if they do trade him or if the Cowboys try and trade. At this point, I look at it from the standpoint and say we got 4 extra comp picks because of all the players that we lost in the offseason, that I would look at saying, okay, let's see if we can make a trade. I'd be happy to say, you got him for a 5th, we'll give you a 3rd. Or maybe you say a 4th and a 5th or something like that because we've got extra ones for next year. That would be a move that would definitely, he knows Dak Prescott and a lot of the system, right? Because, Mike McCarthy didn't get rid of everything that was stupid of Kellen Moore's. B, he might get motivated to come back to Dallas. He may end up thinking, maybe the grass wasn't greener on the other side, that maybe having the black Kirk Cousins isn't necessarily a bad thing right now. We need defensive ends worse right now. Well, here's what I can say about the Cowboys offense. if the Cowboys offense can play better and control the clock, that'll help protect the defense. And here's the problem, Reaper, is you could trade for Hassan Reddick tomorrow if you wanted to. But Hassan Reddick's not going to be ready for a couple of weeks at least. You can try and trade for somebody who's a starter right now. You can try that. But I doubt anybody who's got a good starting defensive end is looking to get rid of them right now. You can sign more guys like Carl Lawson in the short term. But again, you need time to get them up to speed to what you're doing on your defense. It's not fantasy football where you can just grab a guy, plug him in and stuff. Where Amari Cooper, who having been here and worked with Dak and things before, can pick it up quicker than somebody else can who has not. And that's why that one kind of works. So when you think of, Amari Cooper, if the whole Black Kirk Cousins thing was true, after having Deshaun Watson among all of these other quarterbacks that have been throwing to him, he might go back and say, you know what? I didn't have it so bad with Dak Prescott. That's all I'm saying about that. Is it just me? Is it just Amari Cooper? 75% of the roster doesn't look like they care or want to be out there. The Browns converted all but $1.2 million of Amari Cooper's 2024 salary into signing bonus, making him extremely affordable to trade. So if you traded for Amari Cooper right now, he would only be a $941,000 hit this year. And so here's the other problem for Cleveland is, if they don't extend Amari Cooper for next year, they'll take a $22 million dead hit next season. And even if he's traded this year, they're still going to have to take that. So this is where Cleveland may want to go ahead and get him moved. Okay, so and here's the actual breakdown on it. So if you were to trade for Amari Cooper today, the new team would have to pay $941,000, and he could be a free agent, unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. Unfortunately, for the Browns, they'll take a $7 million cap hit in 24 and a $22 million hit in 25. So there you have it. That's the lowdown with Amari Cooper. Yeah. We can't afford anything, even though we spend less than anybody. I'm good now that I see you, my friend. Which friend? Oh, there's Curtis. Curtis Blow. What's up, Curtis? My apologies. I still don't know exactly the mix-up. I know sometimes, here's what we're going to do with Curtis. Curtis Blow. Curtis. There we go, Curtis. That way it won't happen to you again. Sometimes when it's game day or we get some of these streams, not so much tonight, the chat just gets rolling really quick, and you're getting somebody who maybe is, doing some bad things, and you click, and it has passed down to the next person, and by accident you end up blocking somebody. So I think that's what's happened. I hope you're doing good, Curtis, and I'm glad to see you back in. Hope you like your wrench there, buddy. All righty. We're back to the third quarter of this shitfest, Miami versus Tennessee. This is worse than a Thursday night game. Excuse me. Okay. Seattle, can you get a score before the half? You need to definitely get one before the half to get back in this game. Curtis, block-free official. Shout out to Miss Gibson. All right, I'm going to try one more. We're going to do one more of these here.
That's my dog.
And before we get into this, bro, I'm not trying to, like, y'all know, bro, I'm all positive, bro. I'm not trying to attack CJ at all.
Right.
I know he took what I said personally, and you know, before I even get into it, what we think, man? Your dog CJ, man, he had some stuff said before the game. He struck again, bro.
Man,
like a fool.
bro, that's my dog.
And before we get into this, bro, I'm not trying to, like, y'all know, bro, I'm all positive, bro. I'm not trying to attack CJ at all.
Right.
I know he took what I said personally, and you know, before I even get into it, what we think he is, like, in terms of how we feel, bro, like, we all in the NFL. How one of us saying that another person don't belong here, they just that type of person, like, you feel me though? Like, even with a Pro Bowl, All Pro, like, you know, we still could be humbled at any moment. Like, we still gonna get beat. I'ma still get locked up maybe for a game or a rep. You know, it's just a game of football. It's just how it happened.
It happens.
So, like,
Man.
What's your thought on that, bro? Like,
Yeah, hey, one thing I know about 8, man. 8 go bring the noise. 8 go bring the energy. And 8 go bring all the trash talking that half the team's not doing. So he fulfilled that need for us. You know what I'm saying? He a guy with a lot of energy. He go talk
Looking
that
like a
trash,
fool.
but you know, hey, you go talk, you gotta back it up at some point in time. And if you don't, he know for sure that media go catch it on the attention, and he gotta be ready to answer every time. Because if he don't, the media go on his ass every time. But you know what's up with him, man. You know what's up with him. He gonna do it. And I told him, do your thing, man. But hey, you know now you don't perform the way you want to perform, they gonna get back on you.
bro.
Okay, so there's another Micah spot. At least he was clamping down on him about, he said he was going to put belts to asses, like, you know, old school whipping, and proceeded not to do shit. Jonathan D., imagine a wide receiver of Devontae Adams and CeeDee Lamb. Damn, that would be good, but at the moment, Devontae Adams is injured. The Dolphins always look bad without Tua. Every time he gets hurt, they look horrible. If the Cowboys do fire McCarthy, who do you want them to get? Bill Belichick or Ben Johnson or Mike Vrabel or somebody else? You know what? In my mind, the problem firing Mike McCarthy you got to look elsewhere. The bottom line is, do you honestly look at the Cowboys and say they've given Mike McCarthy everything he needs to succeed? If you don't look at it and say, I mean, from the standpoint, if they had went out and gotten Derrick Henry, and somehow, got Diggs and put on the team, and we were playing the way we are right now, I would say, yeah, you need to fire the coach because you got the firepower. But guys, you realize we have 2 rookie starting offensive linemen and a left tackle that left a whole lot to be desired last year coming back from the ACL, right tackle. Okay, right? We've got the worst running game in football. That ain't on Mike McCarthy. Could he be doing more motion and things? Yes, of course. Yes, that'll help. But some of that may be we're still trying to learn how to walk before we can make it more complicated. And I think that's where people need to be a little bit more patient, because when you look at the Dallas Cowboys and you look at how many first and second year players the Cowboys are playing in key positions, you can't expect all those guys to come out like Micah Parsons their first year. Overshown, let me say, has 4 NFL starts to his name. Cooper Beebe has 4 NFL starts to his name. Tyler Guyton has 4 starts to his name. Carson has 2 starts to his NFL name. You see where I'm going? Mozzie Smith has, I don't know how many he's actually started. Most of the season last year, he was injured with the hurt shoulder after Thanksgiving, and he wasn't a starter. So it's going to take some time. Hello, Jacob Sports. Oh my God. Oh, Jacob Sports, bro. I've already started bringing the heat, man. Bro, I'm gonna get it. It may come back and bite me in the ass, Jacob Sports. Okay, it may come back to bite me in the ass, but you have to understand. I literally have months of Dan Saleo saying, "Who the hell is Mark Holmes?" Philly 500 literally telling me that the Eagles secondary was better than the Cowboys. Philly 500 literally joking about my quarterback being a turnover machine. Literally laughing about Mozzie Smith. Bro, I don't know that I actually have to say anything other than sit there with a shit-eating grin while you guys implode with Kellen Moore. The way I look at it, Jacob Sports, is you got the 3 stooges right now for coaches. You got the 3 stooges. And it seems like the shine on Howie Roseman is not doing too good this year, with the exception of Saquon, which was a good move. But I can't say Dotson was a good move. I can't say White was a good move. And I certainly can't say Huff is a good move. And I should have actually caught it last week when Dan was literally laughing about, oh my God, Jalen Hurts has more tackles than Huff. And the only reason why he's got more tackles is because he keeps turning over the football. So that's not even a good thing. So yeah. But see, this is what it's all about. Now, we might get our asses handed to us by the Steelers next week, and y'all will be able to give it back. So I know that I'm on thin ice, but I'm going to enjoy this week. Uh-oh. Big play by Miami there. Super Bowl or bust. Oh, man. Oh, we're all in. We're all in. There's Philadelphia. Oh, my God. We ain't scared to say what's on our mind. Micah Parsons, I don't know what you're explaining to Barry Slay about CJ. I think that, I'm sorry. That's fraternizing with the enemy, bro. I don't like that at all, man. I don't like that shit at all. But seriously, Jacob Sports, man, how y'all living over there this week? How y'all living over there, man? Philly 500, man, looked like he ain't slept for weeks, man. I talked to him after his streams and stuff yesterday, man. He was hurting. He was just like, fuck. So, yeah, no, we'll have fun with that one. And I'll be drinking, too. My Philadelphia Eagles will bounce back. We're only 2-2. I think you will. I think definitely. Listen, it's still. Here's what you give everybody hope. Look, we anointed New Orleans. We looked at New Orleans like, oh my God, they killed us, right? Look at New Orleans the last 2 weeks. Derek Carr looks like Derek Carr again. Buffalo against Baltimore yesterday. Baltimore mollywopped the hell out of them. Shit, I look at it and say, well, shit, we did pretty good against Baltimore in comparison. But the first 2 weeks, they looked like shit. So we don't know what we don't know. Who's going to be hot going down the stretch? That's this year more than any other one. I think it's going to be hard to predict. You look at Kansas City, losing Rashid Rice, that thing's huge. That's huge. And San Francisco not having Christian McCaffrey. They won yesterday pretty easily, but it was New England. New England's starting all over. But, man, shout out to Jacob Sports in the house. Man, we are definitely fraternizing with the enemy. Jacob Sports, I'm curious, how did you feel about Big Play Slay being on with Micah Parsons? I don't think that was a good look for either team. Ryan, okay. Here's the good news about playing football on defense. I'm going to give you this is a true story about Charles Haley, okay? I went to JMU. A bunch of y'all know this, okay? Back in the 80s. And Charles was a senior my sophomore year. And Charles was crazy. Charles Haley was crazy. And Charles Haley, it didn't matter if you were practicing football. It didn't matter if you were playing spades. It didn't matter if you were playing punch out, body blow, and bald bull and all that, or playing pool. Charles had to beat you and talk cash shit. In practice one day, not the game. We talking about practice. One of our wing backs, because we ran a wing T offense, okay? And you had 2 wing Ts on it. One of our wing Ts blocked Charles Haley. Gave him a good block. Knocked Charles down. Charles, and we had OmniTurf, which is a precursor to the field turf. It was actually backfilled with sand. And it was hell because it would give you strawberries. Okay, I digress, right? Charles gets up. And I can see the sand flying off of him because he's just like, he's knocking that sand off. And he said, I'm not going to say the guy's name, but he said, blank, I'm going to fuck you up. And the next play, Charles goes through the line and he hits James. James goes over. And gets carried off in a stretcher. Like in the longest yard, they say, I think he broke his freaking neck. He ended up breaking a bone in his neck. And they literally said, if you ever get hit there again, you will be paralyzed. And he became a male cheerleader. Charles Haley hit a guy so hard in practice, not the game. Not the game, turned him into a cheerleader. And that's a true story. Charles was a nut. So fortunately, because he was a linebacker and I was a defensive lineman, no, we didn't hit each other. I thought you wasn't going to say his name. Oh, no, I didn't say his last name. And actually had a nickname. Christina Johnson. Welcome, Christina. How you doing?
Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night.
Facts. Slay needs to shut up. Oh, my God. Charles is a beast, man. You know, when they start, and I'm going to tell you, with Charles Haley, you had to keep your head on a swivel, even in the locker room. I'm just going to leave. I'm going to leave it right there, okay? You know, when I started hearing stories about stuff that went on in the locker room in San Francisco, it's like, yeah, I can believe that. Yeah, I can believe that. Oh, man. But Charles, he was diagnosed with bipolar and is on medication. He's a totally different person now. Oh, my God. JMU. Shit. For JMU to go into University of North Carolina and beat them 70-50, bro. And then Ball State, it was 60-8, I think, this week. Same here, Tim. Yeah, I'm proud of my JMU Dukes right now. Before the season starts, I had my Philadelphia finishing 12-5 or 13-3. We might Kevin Emery, you might be lucky to finish 9-7. Actually, it would be 9-8 because there's one more game there. Philadelphia says, we ain't scared to say what's on our mind. Micah, next time, mind your business, young fella. Yo, Philadelphia, that's your boy that came to his house to be on his podcast. He could have said no. Seattle with 5 seconds here before the half. 1st and 10. And they got 2 seconds left. Time for a come with me, Mary. A Hail Mary. You know, I heard Pete Rose passed away today. I was taking my dad to the doctor today, and I was looking at Twitter, and I saw that Mutombo passed too. Mutombo, bro, you know what I always tell y'all, man? Tell the people you love how much you love them. Mutombo is 58 years old, the same age I am. Actually, I'm going to be 59 in 11 days. So I'm sitting there thinking, you know, when you start seeing somebody like Mutombo at 58 dying of brain cancer, that's unbelievable. I mean, Pete Rose, okay. Pete Rose is old as shit, okay? So you can understand Pete Rose. But Dominique Mutombo, 58, man, that's not old. That is definitely a face mask there. Lions, what are you going to do with the penalty? You're going to decline it. Just end the half. Yeah, it's halftime. Brain cancer is cell phone shit. Yeah, Mr. Cool, you're right. We are losing a lot of people. That's why you got to make the most of your time while you're here, man. Got to make the most of your time while you're here. Tennessee moving the ball. All right, I need one of these games to get a little more exciting because this is hard, man. This is hard work watching this shit. Kevin Emery says, we are going 12-5, my Eagles. Okay. I wouldn't put money on it. But while we're here talking about money, don't forget about BetUS. BetUS, if you use the promo code YouTube150, you can get 150% matching on deposits of up to $2,000 3 times. And this week, my dad's done a little bit better than he did last week. He ended up being 1-1 on his bets, and we'll see how he does this week. Can't wait to look at the stat line for Cowboys versus the Steelers for Sunday. In fact, I ought to go ahead. Let me look at it right now. What is the stat line? See if it's out yet. Let me go to BetUS real quick. And I will tell you. Penalty flags flying all over the place. Let's see. Football. Let's check it out. All right, let's go to the list. They don't have them out yet. Let's see. Oh, no, actually they do. Okay. All right, let's take a look at them real quick. So, right now, Tampa Bay is favored by 1 over Atlanta. The Jets are favored by 1 over... Ooh. The Vikings were the underdog last week. The New York Giants are getting 1. Carolina Panthers plus only 3.5 over the Bears. Baltimore -1 over the Bengals. Buffalo Bills +1 over the Houston Texans. Indianapolis Colts +3 over the Jags. The Jags are actually... wait a minute, hold on. Hold up. How are the Jags favored? That's... No. Over the Colts? Seriously? The Colts had just won. I think I'm going to have to take the Colts of the +3 on that one. The Cleveland Browns +3. Washington only 3 with the Cleveland Doo-Doo Browns. The Raiders +3 over Denver. Denver only scored, 10 points yesterday? The Arizona Cardinals +8 with San Francisco. Green Bay, and he's gone. Green Bay -3.5 over the Rams. And the Cowboys +1 on the road in Pittsburgh. I kind of like that odd right there. Cowboys +1. I think I'm going to take definitely. Well, I'm always going to take the Cowboys because that's what I do. So definitely check out BetUS, and we'll be making our bets later on this week. Colts have Joe Flacco. That's why. The Colts did pretty good yesterday. The Colts are playing the Jaguars. But no. The Jaguars -3. How are you saying that the Jaguars are 3 points better than the Colts? With Trevor Lawrence. Yes, I'm hating on Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence stinks. He stinks. He's out there like Jalen Hurts. He stinks. Kevin Emery, it'll be no difference this year. I was just talking about, because it was an Eagle fan that said he thought they were going to go 13-3 this year, and then said that he thought they were going to go 12-5, and now he's like, we might go 9-7. And I was like, actually 9-8 would be, because there are 17 games. Pollard MVP. Lolo's in here, Jeff Lee. And Rhonda, help me, Rhonda. Rhonda, you double dipping, girl. Touchdown. Tennessee. Spears with the touchdown. All right, Tennessee up 15-6. Tony Pollard is definitely running hard tonight. So, Philly 500 is missing in action today. No video today. I did get him on. He did post in his community tab about the Jalen Carter shirts that have now arrived. These are my favorite ones. Carter about to have another huge game. This was 2 days ago. Carter about to have another huge game, and Q putting the Bucks under quarantine. Get yours here now. And I left a message and said, the shirts are about as worthless as Jalen Carter. Oh, Philly. Oh, boy. Philly 500. Let me look for one of the funny ones here. Oh, I'm loving all this Eagles misery. Oh, okay. I have to...
The Eagles are about to tear through the NFL. I love this schedule for the most part, except for, of course, the bye week, week 5. You by the way, can't think back here. I gotta start out with a little white rerun. Because Philly 500 is one happy dude. I'm so happy. Why, you ask? Well, because this year I get to enjoy Christmas Eve. This year I get to enjoy Christmas Day. And on Thursday, Thanksgiving, I get to laugh at the Dallas Cowboys all day long. So, right off the bat, because of that, I love the schedule. I do. Except for, of course, week 5, which we're going to get into, of course. But before we get into the schedule, we got to talk about something that happened yesterday. I didn't get a chance to do a video on it until now. But 2 more players signed with the Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles posted this. 2 more Rooks make it official. The Dylan McMahon and Trotter Jr., Jeremiah Trotter Jr., my starting linebacker at some point this year. I truly, truly believe it.
Enjoying this.
No doubt about it. But those guys get signed. So the Eagles are quickly signing their rookies, and I absolutely love it. You know, the one thing about this schedule that I was really worried about, and it wasn't Mark Holmes or anything like that. Mark Holmes, we got to come to Philly with me. We got to go to Philly. We got to go to Philly. I want you to come out. Then it's like finds out the Eagles are playing Cowboys in Philly December 29th. I can't go. So I'm off the hook. I don't want to hear Mark Holmes trying to get me out to Philly to go to the Eagles-Cowboys game. When I go to the Eagles game, it's not going to be because of Mark Holmes. It's going to be because of yous. That's right, my peoples. My Eagle fans. That's why we're going to go out there when we do it. When will we do it? I don't know yet. I'm going to look and see what I can work out. But the Eagles are playing the Cowboys late in December at home, which I really love. I hate playing Dallas at home first. I like to have them last. But I was really concerned that Christmas was going to be a waste. I mean, every rumor we heard was Eagles-Ravens Christmas. Eagles-Ravens Christmas. I even read articles where they were saying that, Christmas Day games are here to stay, and the Eagles are going to be one of those teams that play every Christmas, like the Lions and the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. And I was just like, no, please do not do this to me. And thankfully, it's not going to happen. Netflix will be hosting the NFL Christmas Day games, which means you got to have a Peacock subscription, a Paramount, Netflix. You got to have all these different things Amazon, to watch games. It's crazy. YouTube. NFL Christmas Day games on Netflix will be Chiefs versus Steelers and Ravens versus Texans. That second game is really good. We'll see how good the first game is, but It's not the Eagles. And then, of course, the Thanksgiving games, we don't have to worry about that
Oh,
either.
man, just
2024
overthrew
NFL
'em.
Thanksgiving schedule. Bears at Lions, Giants at Cowboys, Dolphins at Packers. Now, the Giants are playing the Cowboys Thanksgiving. That's an easy game for the Cowboys. But I think they had to get thrown a bone because when you see their schedule, it's pretty tough. I'll do a video. I'll do another video and I'll go over the Cowboys schedule, but I think the Cowboys are in trouble. Now, as far as the Eagles schedule goes, I mean, for the most part, I couldn't be happier. I think it's a much easier schedule than it was a year ago, okay? However, the one thing I don't like about the schedule is the Eagles have a bye week 5. And really, if you look at the first 4 games, 3 of those games, they're traveling. So they're traveling 3 of the first 4 weeks of the season. One of those places is Brazil, which I don't even know how far that is. Some people said in my stream last night, thanks to everybody who watched that stream, by the way, they said it's about a 12-hour flight. So it's a lot of traveling for the Eagles. But when you look at this schedule, for the most part, I think it's pretty good. And we're going to run through it, and I'll give you roughly what I think the Eagles are going to do. I usually do 3 prediction videos according to the schedule. I like to do one when the schedule comes out. I like to do one like right around camp, and then I like to do one going into the regular season. So this will be the first one, but the Eagles open, obviously we all know, they open versus the Packers in Brazil. Now this is a home game. Okay, this is a home game, and this is a game where they keep saying we can't wear green. I don't know if we can't wear midnight green or something like that. Maybe in my conspiracy, maybe this is where, I've been saying I think the Eagles are going to upgrade their uniforms at some point, or they're going to redo their uniforms. Maybe they announce later this summer they're doing uniforms changes. We get Kelly Green at home, we get the white helmets, and then we get the black and Kelly Green. So maybe the white helmets are coming later this year. That's why they're not worried about playing Brazil. I don't know. But anyways, the Eagles are playing Green Bay in Brazil. This to me is a tough game.
No, it's not his stream. This is.
I'll give the Eagles a win here because
I just have to hear what he.
If I have to choose, I still think the Eagles are better. But Green Bay is no joke. I think Green Bay is one of the top 4 teams in the NFC Conference. I also think they had a really good offseason.
I think Tennessee's got control of this.
But I think the Eagles need to play guys in preseason. I think they need to be ready for this game because this is a tough game.
Okay, so he's got them 2-0 after the Falcons.
Play on prime time. So Kirk Cousins stinks prime time. Eagles win that game. I have them 2-0. And if I keep repeating the number, it's because I always screw up.
Okay.
Green Bay game. It will not surprise me. I think I'm going to give them a win here, but they could lose that game.
Okay.
Then the Eagles, they lost because the whole.
Okay, let's see.
Then the Eagles at the Buccaneers.
Okay,
we owe the Buccaneers one, okay? The reason why the Eagles went down to Tampa and lost, they lost because the whole thing had collapsed. They were going to lose no matter what. It didn't matter who they played or where they played. This is going to be a different team. We're going to get revenge for this game, and I hope Devin White goes off. So I got the Eagles winning, and I got the Eagles starting 4-0. Now here's what I don't like, and a lot of people don't like: the Week 5 bye week. It's like just seems a little early, doesn't it? But Week 5 bye, I have the Eagles starting 4-0, and then 4-0 in the conference, which is important.
I've got to save that.
Giants and Eagles game on early in the year. Usually it's like late in the year, but this what they're all going to be waiting for. All the fans, all the players. They can't overlook the Giants. They can't look at this and say, we got Cincinnati coming up the next week. They've got to be ready to go in and beat this team.
So he said it was going to be a different game. It was going to be revenge, and Devin White was going to go off. Okay. All right, here we go. Second half here. See if Seattle can mount a comeback. Seattle's crumbling, yeah. And Titans seem to be in control, even though it's only 16-6. Thanks, Mark, for sharing. Oh, you can best believe I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take that clip and I'm going to cut that up. Oh, my God. Philly 500. Oh, my God. His prediction will be 4-0 at this point of the season. Okay, what's their season if the Seahawks are crumbling then? It's one game. You know, they're still going to be 3-1 without this game. It's hard to go on the road. Seattle usually coming west does not play well, but that's just kind of thing. The one and only Ron Don. Mark, I think Philly 500 is the most delusional fan. Yeah, you could say that. If we don't make the Super Bowl, I would like to beat the Eagles twice this year. That will be my Super Bowl. And again, I would love to eat one of those sandwiches. Oh, well, definitely. Eugene, you just got to come on over, bro. That's good. 19-6. Seattle, you got to do something on this drive. Oh, my God. Ivanhoe. True story with Jimmy the Greek, because you're talking about the NFL today. My junior year in high school, Jimmy the Greek at our football end of season party spoke at our high school football party because he was friends with Richie Pettibone. Richie Pettibone, who was the defensive coordinator for the Washington Redskins, and his son was a senior and a linebacker on our team. He went to the University of Maryland. So, yeah, I remember Jimmy the Greek because he literally came through and spoke there. So, definitely I remember Jimmy the Greek. I remember the good old NFL Today, man. 12:30 on Sunday, CBS. You're watching that show because that's – you guys don't seem to understand how good you have it. Because when I grew up, and this was actually hilarious. You don't understand the struggle of us old people, okay? Today I'm in the car with my dad, and he worked at the post office, and it was a big, main area in Northern Virginia, postal place. And my dad used to always go to work. He'd leave at like 5 in the morning. And as we were driving up and going past where his job was for 30-some years, he said, at 5:30 in the morning, I was always there at that 7-Eleven. He said, if I was there before 5:30, there was no point in me stopping because the newspaper wouldn't have been delivered yet. That it always came in at 5:30 in the morning. Because you have to understand, all of your sports news, you either got from a newspaper, Sports Illustrated that came out on Friday, or your local news that would have about 6 minutes, who would stay literally for 6 minutes on the sports until the George Michael Sports Machine came on. When that show came on, it was the first syndicated sports show. And it was Sunday nights from 11:30 to 12, where George Michaels had this fake, the sport machine, and he would go, let's go to the tape, and he pushed a button, and you would see highlights and clips on sports. And he was like the first guy that was like showing wrestling highlights. So there wasn't all the sports where you can just, see me on here talking about the Cowboys or go and see ESPN and a multitude of stations and 24 or rewind it or things like that. You didn't get the coverage. The one and only, I'll be right back, got to take the dogs out. Who let the dogs out? Woof, woof, woof. The one and only Ron, the Don, did. But Sundays at 12:30 was Phyllis George, Jane Kennedy. Oh yeah, Jane Kennedy. Woohoo! Jimmy the Greek. What's his name? Jeez. He's still Brent Musburger, and black guy on there. Irv Cross. I can't believe I remembered all of them. Holy shit. Irv Cross. That was the NFL Today, and it would come on at 12:30 and lead you into the game. There was no Fox Sports, Fox broadcast. It was either CBS or it was NBC. That was it. And ABC had Monday Night Football, Irv Cross. And so that's how you got you got all your football talk in 30 minutes across the NFL. Now, granted, there was only 28 teams at that point because Tampa Bay, Seattle, Jacksonville, and the Texans weren't there, okay? They were the Houston Oilers, and the Houston Oilers became the Tennessee Titans. And, of course, the Cleveland Browns moved to Baltimore, and then, of course, they brought back the Cleveland Browns. So, yeah, that was it. That was literally it. Kevin Emery, Cowboys will finish the season 8-8 or 9-8. I'm still going to go by, I said 11-6. I said 11-6. Yeah, New York hubby is old like me, if he remembers all that. Yeah, Howard Cosell. And I remember when he screwed up and he was talking about, Darryl Green. When Darryl Green ended up getting the interception, and he said, "Look at that monkey go!" Everybody come, what? That's when he got in trouble. You are looking live. Yeah, Brent Musburger. And I remember the good old Monday night broadcast when you had Dandy Don Meredith on there. Oh, my God, George Michael's Sports Machine. Let me see. Let me see if I can find a clip. Okay, this is a throwback for all you people here. This is what we used to get, okay?
Jack Morris pitching a two-hitter. Let's go to Tiger Stadium in Detroit.
I screwed up, wrong one. Hold on. Oh my God. This brings back flashbacks. See how old I was. You saw Earl Campbell running still.
Good evening, everybody. I'm George Michael, and welcome to the Sports Machine. Tonight, through the use of the Sports Machine, out west, the New York Mets continue to struggle playing in San Diego. For a young receiver in the NFL, there's been disappointment amidst his greatness.
A young receiver.
It was another day of bad luck at a bad time for Mario Andretti. And he has matured, but Jimmy Connors says he will never mellow. With just 6 weeks left in the regular season, the Oakland Athletics are in super shape. You know, they've led the American League Western Division most of this year. Today's performance, I think, kind of typified the perseverance that's kept them in first place. You see, the Athletics blew a lead, then regained the lead in the 8th inning. They downed the Red Sox 5-4. Now, in winning, the Athletics prevent a sweep by the Boston Red Sox, while meanwhile, Boston falls 4 games behind the Eastern Division leading Detroit Tigers. The Tigers this afternoon, they shut out an excellent White Sox team, 5-0. Jack Morris pitching a two-hitter. Let's go to Tiger Stadium in Detroit. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Look at the tapes. Oh, my God. Okay. All right, so we've gone down memory lane here, okay? Literally, people, that was high tech, okay? I'm telling you, oh, my God. Sunday night, 11:30, I'm there. Oh, my God. That was like, okay. Saturday night, 11:30, I'm up watching Saturday Night Live, okay? Okay, Saturday Night Live is 50. Or is it, 50. Is it 50? No, it's older. It has to be older than that. Is it 50? I watched the first year of Saturday Night Live. But that was, of course, on Saturday night, so I stayed up late because there's no school. And then I snuck up and would stay up late on Sunday nights to watch George Michael's Sports Machine. Joseph Heatherly. Shout out to Joseph Heatherly. Joseph, I need your address again so I can send you Maya's shirt. Bit time, TV movement, nobody on the streets. Detroit driving to the 5-yard line. Yeah, I think that this one's going to be, well, it's 21-14. But if they end up getting this touchdown here, I still don't think that Seattle's got the firepower to catch up. And I definitely don't think that Miami has the firepower to catch up. Oh, Tierra. Shout out to Tierra. Tierra. Washington fans are like literally going crazy. They are oh my God. I mean, you can tell that it's been a long time. Mr. Cool, yeah, I was watching. I remember. Listen, I remember the good old days when it was Garen Morris, Gilda Radner. She died, I think, of cancer. John Belushi. Belushi was crazy. Oh my God, John Belushi was a comic genius. Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, and I'm trying to remember who else. Those are the main people on there. Back then in the day, oh my God, that was the show, man. And then when Eddie Murphy got on there, when he used to do Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood, or one of my favorite ones was Jailhouse Poetry. And he's in there, they pulled the thing open, and his poem was, "Kill my landlord, kill my landlord. Ain't got no reason, what the heck? Kill my landlord." Oh, man. Yeah, I'm old. The things that used to make us happy. That was entertainment back in the day. Good old Eddie Murphy. Kill my landlord. Kill my landlord. Ain't got no reason. What the heck? So I would literally stay up. I would stay up after my mom and dad go to bed. I'd be downstairs watching Saturday Night Live, man, at 11:30 until 1 o'clock at night, man. Oh, man. Yeah, so New York Hubby is my age then, because that was way back in the day. All right, this is what happens. Pete Rose was a real champion. Too bad he gambled on baseball. He should have been in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Why can't our coaches create plays like the Lions did? Well, give them time. Give them time. Miami can't catch anything. Go Cowboys 3. I have no idea what all that is, Greenheart. Mark, any advice for somebody wanting to start a lawn care business and how to get started? Buy a lawnmower. Buy a lawnmower. That'd be the first step. Buy a lawnmower. I mean, I used to have a grass cutting business. See, back in the day, we didn't have lawn care services. Your parents had kids. And I used to cut my neighbor's grass, and I used to cut my Aunt Mabel's grass, which she had like 6 acres of grass. I'd spend like 5 hours on Saturday cutting her grass. So, yeah, quality first. Yeah, there you go. Everyone's gambling. You ain't lying. I mean, the fact that you got now, and I think this is one that's kind of like, maybe this is a little too much, is that ESPN, how are the ones that are reporting the news also in the sports books? Does anybody else see a problem with that? I think that that's a little too much. This guy cries for football all year and complains about every non-Cowboy game. Makes no sense. Well, Chad, you know, I'm watching 2 games right now. I can't honestly say that either of them are that exciting. I'm just not. I'm looking at the Detroit Lions looking like a more well-oiled machine. the Seattle Seahawks, looking, okay, they're on the road, which is hard to play with. But I don't think Geno is a great quarterback. And I'm looking at the Tennessee Titans that they're okay. They're kind of killing Miami that looks rudderless without Tua. I can't look and say, oh, my God, this is a great game. It just can't, bro. And I'm sorry if me not really enjoying these games is actually bothering you. You know what I find funny as hell? Is how I'm doing what I'm enjoying. Chad, okay? I'm enjoying reminiscing about some shit that happened back in the day, how sports used to be. And apparently, 250 people that are watching right now seem to be enjoying that too. Because the games, they really aren't that exciting. Hey, my quarterback still had, 125 rating, bro. And I was invested in it because it was my Cowboys. And also, Chad, I tell you what, bro, it must have been interesting to some people since it was the highest rated streamed game in the history of Thursday night football. So, yes, I think people were watching it. So, yes, it was. So, how about that? So, hater, kiss my ass, bro. How about that? Washington has a bad track record against Dak. Only Smith and Howell have beaten him. But I'm convinced that Daniels will be the third. We'll see. I want to say Alex Smith did. Because I think I was at that game. The first year that Alex Smith was there, I think he beat Dak. But I could be wrong. Oh, Tierra, you can't. Now listen, you can't use facts now. When it comes to Dak Prescott, you can't use facts. Cat stretch fevers. This live is good, so shut up, Chad. Shut up, Chad. Okay. Everybody's saying, shut up, Chad. Okay. Oh, Lordy. I'm trying to think of one of the other things that you guys wouldn't understand. Oh, my God. Yeah, that was the 85 Bears with the Super Bowl shuffle. See, back in the day, it just came to mind. Things that we had back in the day that wouldn't be able to make it right now, probably like All in the Family. There's no way in the world that All in the Family could be on TV right now, which led to The Jeffersons. That's another show I don't think that would have been able to be. And, of course, Sanford and Son. Which led to Chico and the Man. Those were some funny-ass shows back in the day, man. Those were some good shows. Payphones. Oh, my God, yes. Again, y'all don't understand the struggle. Because, see, y'all have GPS on your phones and everything else. Back in the day, we didn't even have MapQuest. We actually had to go to the gas station and buy a map. Okay? Or if you were lost and needed directions, you'd have to get off the highway, find a payphone, hope that you had some quarters to put in the machine to call somebody and say, I'm lost. Well, what street are you on? I don't know. It's dark outside and rainy. I can't see. Well, I can't help you, bro. Rotary phones. I remember we had rotary phones. Beverly Hillbillies was good. Oh my God, Soul Train. Every Saturday morning, you had to watch the Soul Train. train. Oh, boy. Is Seattle getting back in this game? Oh, looks like we got a game now. Look, Rhonda came into the chat. Look, Rhonda's old school. She'll put you over your knee, over her knee, and smack that ass. 15 cents. Joseph, oh my God. No. We had penny candy. I used to walk down to Highs and 7-Eleven, and for 2 cents, you get 2 pieces of penny candy, okay? Candy bar was 5 cents, okay? Like a Snickers was like 5 cents. And we used to, there used to be the deposit on the soda bottles. There was like a 5 cent deposit on the soda bottles. So you were out there as a kid. You were out there, the TV show Dallas, Who Shot JR. That was, of course, good. But you as a kid, you out there looking for those soda bottles. Man, you get yourself about 10 or 20 soda bottles, you knew you got $1. You know how much candy you could get for $1? You could literally have a sugar rush and pass out with $1 worth of candy. You get, I'm talking about a big bag of candy, okay? You get to, like there was the BB Bats candy, which was like caramel, had the yellow and red wrapper on them. You get the Fun Sticks. Oh, my God. Listen, this is what candy was back in the day. They had the Fun Sticks, okay? Thinking about this now is crazy. Y'all know what a Fun Stick was? Fun Stick was a candy stick. A candy stick. It was white, okay? Just hardened sugar, right? You lick that, and you stick it in the pouch of colored sugar. So you had a sugar stick that you stuck in sugar and got the sugar on it, lick the sugar off, and stick it back in the Fun Stick bag. Okay, I'm serious. It was not, oh my God, the amount of sugar that we had growing up. The Fun Sticks, oh, geez. Or we had Pixie Sticks. Pixie Sticks, right? So you had the thin Pixie Sticks about the size of a pencil, but then they had the jumbo Pixie Sticks. All it was a stick of sugar. It was literally a stick of sugar. You'd open it up, just pour it in your mouth. More sugar. Give me more sugar. I'm serious, man. Oh, my God. The Pixie Sticks, man. And then we had the Pop Rocks. And then the Pop Rocks, the first iteration of Pop Rocks, they had to stop doing because a kid ate too many Pop Rocks and they all blew up in the stomach. And I think it killed him. Oh, my God. The one and only. You remember the Fun Stick candy. Oh, my God, man. I think about how much just straight up sugar. And then of course, you had to get all the Hostess cakes, okay? They had the Hostess has come back. But back in the day, you had to get the Twinkies. You were always grabbing Twinkies. And they had the apple pies and the blueberry pies and all that stuff that were in there. Oh, my God. Man. And the Fireballs. You had to get Fireballs, okay? The Fireballs were good. Oh, man. How much were hamburgers back in the I don't know how much they were back in the 1930s there. But I will gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. How about that? Oh, man, the cinnamon rolls that were the Hostess cinnamon rolls, I used to love those. But, it's not like you have them today because we didn't have microwaves back then. If we had microwaves back then to warm up those cakes, oh, my God. That's one of the greatest inventions in the world. I remember when they came out with the microwaves at 7-Eleven and you could get a burrito. And we were literally amazed because you could get a burrito that was cold and put it in that silver box and you watch it for a minute and it would come out hot. And it was like magic. It was like, the microwave. And y'all, Y'all, when they came out with the big gulp, not the big gulps of today, back in our day, the big gulp was 24 ounces. And you could go to 7-Eleven. We'd go to 7-Eleven before football practice, and we'd get a big gulp. And we'd look at each other like, man, you going to be able to drink that whole thing? Man, that's a big gulp. Damn, Lions. Lions are just toying with it. They're just playing with the food right now. 34-20. Okay? And I'm going to tell you, but not, you love the fun stick, but not, okay. So you like the hard sugar stick, but you didn't like the powdered sugar. Okay. Golf, he's so good. I wish we had Golf. He's a stud. Okay. I tell you, and here's how things have changed in society. I'm going back to my high school reunion, okay? See, everything got supersized these days, okay? And I'm remembering, and if you don't believe me, go back to Sir Mix-a-Lot's I Like Big Butts and look at that video. Seriously, go back. I mean, when Sir Mix-a-Lot came out with I Like Big Butts, it was groundbreaking. It was like, oh my God, big butts, okay? But look at the women on Sir Mix-a-Lot's I Got Big Butts. They ain't got big butts. They ain't got big butts. And see, you know, I remembering what it was like in high school, girls didn't have butts that big, okay? As well as I remember working at McDonald's, okay? All right, working at McDonald's. Like I just said, the big gulp was 24 ounces. And we were in awe. 24 ounces of soda, and you can pick whatever kinds you want. We were literally in heaven. But when McDonald's came out with the Big Mac and the Quarter Pounder, we were like, bro, what you gonna get? I'm gonna get the Quarter Pounder. Man, you gonna eat a quarter pound? Oh, man, that's a quarter pound of beef, man. That's a big burger. You sure you can handle that, man? Yeah, I'm gonna get the Quarter Pounder. And it was like, damn, that brother gonna eat a whole Quarter Pounder. So yeah, that was back in the day, you know. A McDonald's regular hamburger and small fry was a full meal. I'm serious. Nowadays, you got the triple patties, and it's like, wait a minute. Fat butts, now they're using drugs. Or they're taking the belly fat from all of the big burgers, and they're putting it and doing the Brazilian butt lifts. That's the other thing. I hated the seeds. Now we can go up. Right, that's what I'm saying. Back in the day, we didn't have these portions like this. I'm a 90s baby. We had the best time. Oh, man. Yeah, the candy we had back in the day. My $100,000 bar, that was one of my favorite candy bars, the $100,000 bar. The O. Henry, that was another good one. Chunky. The Chunky bar, it was like a pyramid where they took the top of it off. And it was a big chunk of chocolate where you could get it with, it had nuts, or you could just get the plain Chunky bar. Jeff's booby art rolls eyes. Mark, the nutrition and workout methods got these girls' butts looking out the way they are. McBLT, hot sides and stay cool, cold sides, booty shots, marathon bar. Yeah, this is Throwback Monday. Unfortunately, Chad is, oh my God. Oh, yes. They had candy. Shout out to Chad. Yes, there were actually candy cigarettes and bubblegum cigars. They had bubble gum cigars, so they were the size of a regular cigar, but it was all bubble gum. So you could go get and take a bite and chew on it, okay? And I'm telling you, some of the things that were crazy, and I don't know how we lived. You know, we look at everything now where kids are, scared to go outside. We had a smoking section in high school. A smoking section in high school. At 12 years old, I used to go down to 7-Eleven and get cigarettes for my dad. Let me say that again. At 12 years old, because my dad smoked Kents, I would go down and pick him up his pack of Kents. Okay? I'm telling you, it was a different world back then. And kids, I look at the playgrounds now, and they've got the rubber mulch and things like that. We had things like the Wheel of Death. Okay, the Wheel of Death. I don't know if you guys ever seen the Wheel of Death, but it's basically a big circle thing. It's got a couple of bars on it. You hold on to it, and you spin it, and you hold on. And always, it was like a rut. Because that's where the kids are running, a rut, and just hard dirt because the sun done baked it. And the metal on it was always hot. So if you're wearing shorts and you put your knee on it or put your arm on it, you'd burn. You get burned. I'm serious. You get burned. And then you get somebody out there, you get the big kid out there, and he's working that thing. He's working that thing. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're flying and holding on, and all of a sudden you lose grip because you're sweating because the thing's hot as hell, and you go flying. Boom. Okay? Or you had the slide. Okay? You had the slide. Again, stainless steel metal, shiny as could be, hot as shit. You climb on up there, you hop on the slide, and when you got to the bottom, what always happened was there was a puddle at the bottom. Muddy water. And okay, there we go, splat. Okay? Yeah, man, in the playground. Or you had the monkey bars, and again, the monkey bars, you go through there, nothing but dirt. Or the asphalt basketball court out behind the school where there was always broken glass. Okay? There was always some little broken glass on the basketball court. You fall down, your knees busted open and bleeding, and it's okay, get up and keep on playing. See, we were tough. We were tough. I don't know about y'all kids now. Oh my God, kickball and dodgeball. Oh, we didn't call it dodgeball. You know what we called it? Murder ball. Murder ball. It wasn't dodgeball. It was murder ball. You had the red rubber ball that you could palm. And it had this like little designs, these little line designs that you could grip that sucker. And you could take that thing, and if you were good with it, if you hit a guy in the face with it, boom. You just see you would literally see the guy's face swell up. Boom. And as it would start swelling, because if you were good at it, okay, you get one of the real skinny kids, okay? And when you hit them in the face with the ball, you see them literally go backwards. And while they're flying backwards, you can see their face swelling up. Oh, yeah, I tell you what, Daryl, right now, as we speak, under the red brick house, there is a generic big wheel that's been here at the red brick house. That's under here. And I left it there while I was working on the house. It's still under the house. Oh my God, Eric Willis. Yeah, seriously, it was a different world that we grew up in. Concussions, man, concussions. We didn't know what a concussion. You fall down and hit your head. Rub some dirt on it, man. You're okay. My cousin would chase us while pinching their arm. Listen, You know what one of our favorite games was growing up? My parents' house was basically a farmhouse. We had the old garage that was like a barn, and there used to be that was called the meat house. It was a wood building that they used to smoke meat in, okay? And we had this big field that was out there, and we had a bunch of trees and stuff. So what we did is we had dirt wars. Dirt wars. Y'all, we didn't have a lot of toys. Don't act like I'm the only one that had dirt wars. You get a clump of dirt, because my parents had gardens. So it's easy to get a clump of dirt, okay? And see, when you throw a clump of dirt, you throw it up real high like a hand grenade. When it lands, it blows. And if you get hit by a clump of dirt, you're dead. Not literally, but in the game. So we literally would play dirt wars, throwing dirt at each other. Come on now. Seriously? Nobody else? Okay, there. Joseph Heatherly did. Yeah, okay. Oh, Joseph. Joseph, you're going to like this, Joseph. So, Joseph, me and Tracy have been dealing with one of the hardest things ever. Pause. The walkway, and Joseph says that he is actually going to help sponsor the channel here for some people to purchase some of the bricks, or he's going to basically pay for some of the bricks so that way you guys can be involved. Some of you can be involved. We'll do some drawings. What we're doing is we're doing a historic brick walkway here at the Red Brick House. And so we're building a timeline using bricks, and we're going to get them imprinted with history. Okay? And so we've been doing the timeline from 1810 to 2020, and we've been trying to come up with the bricks, the main bricks will be 8 by 8. They'll have the decade on it, and then they'll have 4 major things that have happened in that decade. Okay? Then we'll have ones to the side of it that'll be things that have happened in the Red Brick House. Every time it was sold, or, the city bought it or whatever. And then we'll have things that happen locally in Waynesboro. So this will be actually a timeline of history. And I thought about you, Joseph, because you asked me if I wanted your Wyatt Earp stuff. Okay, see, for those who don't know, Joseph Heatherly played Wyatt Earp at the OK Corral. So we've been going through, we've talked to the Waynesboro Historic Society, trying to get, stuff from there. They gave us some history books, and Tracy and I have been going through decade after decade, trying to find out things that are significant from the Spanish-American War, and, Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders, and the War of 1812, and, Jesse versus Ferguson, and the Civil War, and all these different things and all that. And one of the things that's going to be on one of those bricks, Joseph, is the gunfight at OK Corral. I want to say, I can't remember which decade, if it was 1880. But what's kind of cool about what we're doing, there's some things like, for example, the first commercialized sewing machine was a Singer. Well, we've got an antique sewing machine that's here. And so when we start talking about, the gunfight at OK Corral being on that brick, having the costume or his stuff or the pistols and things like that you use, it'll be fitting for it. And that's where I look. Atomic wedgies. Oh, God, don't even mention those. I'm going to say there were, I tell you what. Back in the day was bad because those atomic wedgies, oh man, people getting wedgies all the time. And I'm going to say TT Twisters. Okay? Those were going on. Don't do that these days. Seattle trying to hold on here. Seattle trying to make it a game, Chad. Uh-oh. Fourth quarter here. Only down by a touchdown. No, more than touchdown. Touchdown and 2-point conversion. 8-point game. Red Rover, come on over. And Duck, Goots. Mark didn't play nice. Oh, but you know the Twisters. Seattle is determined. I would love for Seattle to come back and win. And Joseph, that would be actually great to put on too. There's a wall that it's a wood wall, and it had peeling paint on it. And what we did was we scraped all the peeling paint off of it, but there's like 4 different colors of paint. And so it looks almost like it's denim, but you can see all of the different colors all the way down to the bare wood. And it's kind of a nice effect because now you can see the different stages on there. And what I talked about wanting to do before was to get like some horseshoes to put on there because there used to be, they said that there used to be a horse trough and the fence where they would tie up the horses for the soldiers that was out front. Logan Motorsport, what was my favorite video game? Okay, now, see, you got to understand, I'm old, and see, I don't do, like, the modern video games because they're just too much, okay? I grew up on an Atari 2600, okay? Atari 2600. Frogger and Pitfall were probably my 2 favorite Atari games. Oh, and actually I have one of the first, and it still works, one of the first football games, and it literally is 3 LED diodes, 3, 10 times. And so you could move your diode up and down, and you had like 4 guys that are there to tackle. So I have that game. Yeah, I still have that, and it works at home. So, yeah. I was already in the Army before. Okay. Frogger was good. Frogger and Pitfall Harry was great. I had Dungeons and Dragons for Atari. Okay. I remember a girl stuck me in a closet. Just, hey, want to play Truth or Dare? Okay. So, Philadelphia, have you come out of the closet yet? Burger Time was one of my favorites. Of course, Asteroids was always nice, too, because that was like one of the first ones. Now, Dig Dug was pretty good. Now, if you're talking about old school video games, my old school video games would be Missile Command. This would be, like the regular, like you go to an arcade. Missile Command, Defender, and Galaga. Those would be probably my top 3. And in 4th place, I would have to say, Punch Out. Seattle's got to stop. Seattle's got some momentum here. Lots of time, 13 minutes and 20 seconds. I hope you guys have enjoyed this stroll through my childhood. Pong with the paddles. Oh, my God. I remember my next-door neighbor. This is in junior high. Jim Bynitsky. I would go over to his house, and he had one of the early computers, okay? Early computers. And we actually used the internet. The internet he had, it was like a Tandy tape recorder, cassette recorder, okay? And you literally put the phone on top of the tape recorder, and you would call in. You would actually call. And we were able to play Pong on the TV. And Pong, for those who don't know, it's like a slide that could go left and right, and the ball would go up, bounce, and come down, and you just kept hitting it back and forth. And it would go faster. That was it. Tennessee kicking ass. I think that Tennessee of 24 seconds, they just scored again. What happens to the West Coast offense? Oh, Tecmo Bowl. But see, that was high tech, though, Tim. Spin the bottle was the best. Oh, man. I used to have, if you're really old school, great scream job. Thank you for the wrench, Godfather. You're very welcome. I used to have, I wish I still had it because it'd probably be worth a fortune right now. But the Evel Knievel motorcycle that had the crank, and you would crank it and you hear, and you push the trigger and the motorcycle would take off. Okay? Now, for a bonus, if you had the Evel Knievel drag racer, because Evel Knievel was going to take this rocket and shoot it across the Grand Canyon, that would really be worth some money. The Evel Knievel dragster, oh my God. And then, of course, we had action figures like G.I. Joe, okay? And if I had this G.I. Joe right now, I bet you it would be worth a couple $1,000s. But I had a black G.I. Joe, and he had the beard and everything else. He looked like Franco Harris. I bet you that thing would be worth $2,000. In fact, I'm going to look it up. Holly Pierce, drunk game, 2 people, 5 sheets in the wind, go in the closet. One leaves the other one. Who has to guess who left? I never played that one. Okay. Holly. Good night, Curtis, man. No, I have not played that one either. Do a drunk stream one day. I think I did on the. I think I did this last Wednesday. Okay, so come on, Seattle. Oh, Seattle's making a run to get across midfield. This one right here in the corner, that's the one I had, the black G.I. Joe, 1977. See, those aren't them. Those aren't the real. Those are the ones that came later. Okay, so that's just a print of that one. But that is the one that the print of it is $40. But I had that one. If you're telling me that a print of it is worth $40, what did that black G.I. Joe worth? What was that sucker worth? Damn. Damn. Then it's 3D G.I. Joes. Talking Commander. Okay, so I can't find them. Mark, do I remember the old 8-track? Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. My dad's truck had an 8-track player. The one and only. my mom had a record player that was, it was like a piece of furniture. It was about 6 feet long, and it was all wood. You open up the top of it, it had the record play, had the radio built into it, and then had the record player. Not only was it 45 and 33, okay, it also had a 67 speed that was on it. So yeah, we had all kinds of old shit. Reel to reel. Oh, my dad still right now has reel to reel 8mm. I think it's 8mm video. I mean, not video. Movies that he used to take of us. I don't know if there's still anything on them, but he used to take them as a kid. Oh, not 67. It was 78. Yeah, 78. And we have over here a friend of ours grandmother, who was 105, that just passed a couple years ago. We've got an original. It's Radio Corporation of America, which is RCA. It's actually a record player and radio that I want to plug it in, but I'm afraid to. But we've got the extra tubes and stuff to go in. That's one of the things that I like is we have a lot of really old stuff that's here that is kind of like a collection of old stuff. So it's almost like a museum. I owned a red 8-track. It had with red handles, Jackson 5, Gladys Knight, John Denver, Barry Manilow. I tell you what, Ivanhoe, forget Blockbuster. It was Earls before Blockbuster. Blockbuster put Earls out of business. A CB radio, oh man, I used to have a CB radio. I used to have a CB radio at my parents' house, and then I would talk to the truckers on the road. Breaker 19. Breaker. Yeah, we're old. We're old people. That's where you people don't understand the struggle of what we went through. Michael Jackson or Prince? For me, I liked Prince better. Okay. It was something about Purple Rain. Although, Prince did screw me up in college, because in college we were like, oh man, Purple Rain is the shit. And then he came out with Under the Cherry Moon. And when I first heard the album, I went out and I bought it, and I was like, what the hell is this? This sounds like the freaking Beatles. She wore a raspberry beret, the kind you find in a second hand. It's like, wait. How'd you go from this is what it sounds like when doves cry to she wore a raspberry beret? Wait a minute. Prince, what are you doing to me? What are you doing? The refs killed that drive. Yeah. There's still time. Timbo's Playboy and Penthouse. Oh my God. Okay. You know what's funny is everybody talking about the Diddy parties. Ain't nobody. Hugh Hefner was the original Diddy breakoffs. What do you think they were doing at the Playboy Mansion, people? Just saying. Ivanhoe. I remember J5. I'm old enough to remember the Jackson 5. Ray Handy. I talked to him late last night, and I see he has not been on today. Wow, Joseph. I like that. Oh, boy. So nowadays, do we just hand our kid a laptop and say, here you go? Oh, boy. Gravity toy shoes. Richard Pryor. I got to go with Richard Pryor, man, from back in the day. I think I want to say 19. Well, we had quite a few different ones growing up of the big cabinets, and like I said, I have one here. And there was supposedly I talked to one of the antique stores. There's a guy who used to work on them, but I think he's like 70 or 80 years old and stuff. And they said he doesn't work on them too often. But I want to talk to them about saying, hey, can I get him to check this one out? Oh, oh my God, Red Fox was crazy. Red Fox was Sanford and Son. Eddie Murphy, man. Eddie, I want to talk to you, Eddie. I don't like the way you treat me, lady. You the F you man, Eddie. Suck my Eddie. Oomph, what's wrong? I want to talk to you, Eddie. LA Gear Light sneakers. Oh my God. What about Videosmith? Used to have hi-fi. I remember when they came out with quadraphonic sound, okay, which was too expensive. You know, it wasn't stereo. Of course, is 2 channels. Then they had quadraphonic. It was like, oh my God. Maya met Red Fox as a child in Hawaii. Oh wow. Simply Beautiful will always be my vibe. Stacey White, appreciate that. Yeah, I do remember. You remember Richard Pryor, you know, having that the basically the crack ball or whatever it was, and caught himself on fire and shit. Changed his life. Pam Grier, man. Oh my God. Pam Grier over Thelma. I like Thelma and all that, but no, she can hold a candle. Pam Grier. Woo. Half, Eddie. I want half. Oh. Red Fox, Richard Pryor, and Eddie Murphy. Sam Kinison was good too. Ray, I think we are too, buddy. I think we got a good shot against them. 90s or 2000? Oh, bro, how about 80s kids? 80s kids are better. These 2000 kids, man, I'm sorry. They're weak-ass little, or punk-ass little biatches. Okay, sorry. You know, we were tough growing up, bro. We were tough. Listen. We didn't have air conditioning growing up, people, okay? When I hear a kid say, it's too hot to go outside, it's like, bro, when we were growing up, it was cooler outside, okay? I want you to understand, my house, my parents' house, my bedroom window faced the west, okay? Faced the west. So when the sun went down, it's going down on that side. It had outside my window was the porch roof, okay? So here's the window. Down about 3 feet is the porch roof, which is metal. The sun, and I only had one window, okay? We had a fan to go in the window, but the window is blowing in the hot air that's heated up on the damn roof. So you're just blowing in circulating hot air, okay? Hot air off the roof. It's too hot outside. Boom. Shut up, kid. You don't know what it's like. You don't understand the struggle. Or what kills me is there's nothing to watch on TV. Bro. We had ABC, NBC, CBS. There was no Fox. And then you would go up into the 20s. The 20s, you would have, which were public access. So you get Sesame Street and the electric company, okay? And National Geographic. We had 6 channels, people. 6 channels, okay? And let me show you what would happen after midnight? From midnight till 6 a.m. That's what you saw on TV. That's what you saw. Period. Oh, boy. Oh, y'all don't, listen, y'all don't know what it's like, people. Oh, my God. And we were, listen, cartoons, Saturday morning. You only got cartoons on Saturday morning. We had shows like Fat Albert. Hey, hey, hey. It's Fat Albert. Hey, Angela, how you doing? Okay. And then we had like Bugs Bunny, okay, or Roadrunner. Beep, beep. Okay. And Wile E. Coyote. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We didn't have this fantasy shit with, anime and all. No, man. We had Speed Racer. Jared Goff cooking tonight. Yeah. It's over now, guys. It's over now. But let's say shout out to our sponsor, BetUSA. BetUSA, don't forget about the 150% matching bet. Okay? Don't forget, the Cowboys are getting 1 point this week early on right now going against the Steelers. I think that's a good bet. If you use the promo code YouTube150, you will get 150% matching up to $2,000. So make sure you definitely check out BetUS and use that promo code YouTube150. And I will definitely be betting on the Cowboys again. Oh, my God. Johnny Quest. Oh, my God. Johnny Quest with Haji, man. That was the show, man. Yep, that's it, Mark. Voltron. Voltron was later on, man. See, you're coming up a little too soon. Captain Caveman. Kids now are trolls. We used to watch trolls on TV. You even had the Jerry curl. Oh, man. I had the J5, the Jackson 5 fro. Okay? Jackson 5. I'm just a Bill. Oh, my God. That was the Saturday morning shows. I'm just a Bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Now I'm just waiting for what? Waiting, stuck in committee. Yeah, all those ones. Herbie the Love Bug. Gigator. I don't remember that one. There's the Pamani sandwiches that they're famous for. I remember the Shazam cartoons. Yeah, the Jerry Curl and Coming to America, where they ended up getting all the Jerry Curl juice on the sofa, was hilarious. Schoolhouse Rock. John Gardner, what's up, man? You too young to remember that stuff. What you talking about, man? You're right about that, Eric. You 100, yeah, because you know what, John? We had to do things like shovel snow, cut the grass, rake leaves, take out the trash. Okay, I would on the weekends have to go up to my Aunt Mabel's house and cut grass. Mark remembers French ticklers. I can't say that. You know what was really cool? I don't know if any of you guys had. They were red and white rockets, okay? But they were water rockets. So you'd fill it halfway full of water, and it twisted onto this pump, and you would pump it up, and it would get that air pressure on it, and then you pull the trigger, and it would spray water all over you as it took off. Am I the only one that had those? Seriously? Oh, yeah, my grandfather's house, they had an outhouse. At my grandfather's house, they had an outhouse. If you don't, a beatdown is coming. You're right about that. Look, I tell you what. Y'all don't know the struggle. You want to talk about, you knew you were in trouble when Mama said, go get me a switch. there was nothing worse than having to go out to a bush and get the instrument of punishment that your mama was going to beat your ass with, okay? And don't come back. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. Don't come back with a dry, thin stick that's going to break when she hits you the first time. Oh, because if mama has to go out and get the switch, bro, it was over then. It was over. You got the belt. Mr. Cool, I'm going to actually say the switch was worse. Because that switch, it would be thin. And my ass just started hurting just thinking about it. My ass just started hurting thinking about it. Oh, man. Well, if you're talking about Fantasy Island, you also have to talk about Love Boat. Because Love Boat came before Fantasy Island. Fantasy Island was basically, a takeoff of Love Boat. So, yeah, we've been chased away all of the young people now. You bring her Nintendo Switch. Oh, James, you smart ass. Pocket Rocket. Okay. Am I the only one that was hit with a bamboo fishing pole? I'm up to say probably, yeah. Okay. That switch leaves an itch. You're right about that. Spider-Man, the original. I remember the original Spider-Man. Oh, no, I tell you what. You want to get old school. Go back to the original Batman. Pow, bam, boom. Oh, boy. Rhonda Love Boat had a lot of braless women. I studied the history. Oh, my God. So do y'all remember when Farrah Fawcett was considered like the perfect woman? She was literally this skinny? The Farrah Fawcett poster? When I got in trouble, it was the Willow Switch. Yeah, the one and only. That Willow Switch, I'm telling you, it ain't no joke. You don't allow it to hit kids now. They're soft. Oh, Kevin, I was just saying, I hope y'all need to appreciate what y'all got these days, okay? But the original Batman series, oh my God, that was crazy. I'm trying to think, what was her name? Incredible black woman actress. She was like groundbreaking, but she was the Catwoman. Oh my God. I think she played in, I think she was the one that said, Marcus. She was in with Eddie Murphy years later, where he was like he was like a playboy. He was always sleeping with all these different women, and Halle Berry was in it. Eartha Kitt, that's it. Thank you. Eartha Kitt was Catwoman. Thank you. I'm getting old and forgetful. Eartha Kitt, oh my God, in her younger days, Eartha Kitt, whoo, damn. She was in Boomerang, yeah. Even in Boomerang, she was still, as old as she was like, she's still getting it done. Do I remember my first adventure in the Sears catalog? First adventures. But Sears catalogs, oh my God. You listen, you could buy a house in the Sears catalog. And I'm being serious. My in-laws' house was a Sears kit house. Yes, Logan's Motorsport. We remember VHS tapes, okay? Yes. The Cowboys Super Bowl was on it. That's what I was saying. She was the original Catwoman. He has a crush on who, me? I remember BJ and the Bear. Oh, we talked about Jane Kennedy because Jane Kennedy was on the NFL Today with Brent Musburger, Jane Kennedy. God, now I can't remember what the white lady's name was. Oh God, NFL. Hold on, I got to look up NFL Today before we get out of here. Let's see.
I know I said that I was leaving, but I just couldn't say goodbye. It was only
I think this is in it. It's supposed to be.
their fourth Super Bowl,
This is
and
literally-
eventually that trophy that has eluded them so far. Their opponents today are the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys could be considered in one aspect as a minor miracle of 1975. They lost an awful lot of key personnel last year, and a lot of people didn't think they'd get this far. But what we forget about the Dallas Cowboys sometimes is that they have probably one of the finest organizations in all of professional sports.
This was
Since they were
sports.
founded in
This would
1960,
be
they have had
half
only
an
one
hour
owner,
before the game.
one director of personnel, one general manager.
Let's go.
Soft spots we
There's
saw
our
along the
cross.
end zone, along the sideline, which won't affect anybody's footing. So we ought to have a whale of a ball game here.
I think it's a bit nippy out, actually. We should go in for a spot of tea, don't you all? We have a lovely mobile unit to go into today to watch the game. All the tailgaters out in the parking
this
lot are
was
coming in now,
literally-
getting ready for the game. And I talked to Tex Schramm last night, and he told me that the Cowboys are looking good, feeling good, and raring to go.
There you go again, talking about the Cowboys. Can't forget the Minnesota Vikings are in this game, too. And as a matter of
Look at
fact,
Brett
Gary
Musburger,
Bender and
how
Johnny
good-
Unitas
oh,
are our
geez.
game broadcasters, and they're in the press box right up there. So let's go up to Gary and Johnny for a report now. Well, as they just alluded to a while ago, John.
Okay.
This was early in the second quarter. Terry went out with an injury and later come back.
These are all the
Mumford got
highlights
down
you
to the
would do.
20-yard line. Then on 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line, Domray's rolled right. He'd replaced the injured Burt Jones, and he hit Glenn Doughty. And after the extra point, it was tied at 7. Still another
People,
interception. This
this
time
was it.
Domray's pulling back. Mel Blunt, a wobbly pass. He's got it for the Steelers, and he'll get down 21 yards before he's finally brought down. And then Rocky Bleier, one of the most courageous men in the National Football League, gets across for a touchdown for the Steelers, who are ahead by a score of 14-10. And here's the play. Ball jarred loose. Russell's
to the
got it,
music in the
ruled a
background.
fumble. And there he goes. 93 yards. That, of course, a playoff record. The final score, Pittsburgh 28, the Baltimore Colts 10. But if I might, Irv, I think we should say just a little something about the Baltimore Colts in the year they had.
Wow.
I went to the end zone, and I think I missed a pass, and as I bent over, a snowball hit me in the eye, and fortunately it wasn't serious as I thought it
snowball
would
hit me
be.
in the
And, I was just lucky to come out of it with this little blurred vision, and now it's all right.
Roger, some comment has been made this week about your physical condition for this ballgame.
Well, it's very good. After the Washington game, I had a lot of trouble with my back and the rib area and some fluid, and I tried to throw during the week, and I couldn't follow through, so my arm got a little sore, so I laid out last week, and this week it's fine. I've had a good week of practice, and really, I feel very good.
And we were watching Roger warm up just a short time ago, and he does look like he's throwing the ball very well. And obviously, as you can see, we have taken our studio on the road this week to Los Angeles and Minneapolis, but during the regular season, well, we brought you our pregame and our halftime and our postgame shows.
Yep, people, that's what it was like for us old timers, okay? You know, that I'm telling you, you couldn't wait for the NFL today. 30 minutes before kickoff, okay? That was it. So be thankful for all the things that you got, man. James Strand, okay, you're a freak over there. I get it. Okay. Seattle, 42-27. 2-minute warning. Tupperware parties. Oh, my God. Remember when Arsenio kissed Diana Ross on his show? Kinda. So we made it through some games that weren't great. Minute 57. Not much chance. Don't take it seriously. Tupperware party. Oh, Lordy. Yeah, I remember when they used to do the Tupperware parties. All right, good people. We're going to call it a night. We had a huge bookshelf with different encyclopedias. Oh, my God. Listen, my mom is forever giving me stuff. She still has like the encyclopedia, World Book encyclopedias. And it's like they were from when I was a kid. Yeah. She's like, you want these? I'm like, okay. They 50 years old. I'm late, but love to, Al. Damn. This is it. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed our stroll through memory lanes of, how we literally, as kids, were breaking bones and nobody cared, and just literally just dumping sugar with pixie sticks in our tongues and eating Pop Rocks that were exploding in our bellies and playing on big wheels that would flip over and, we'd get concussions and things. And somehow, even without air conditioning and things and without 500 channels to watch, somehow we survived to be here now. And for those out there that wonder, how come Mark is so forgetful? Because I'm old and got beat up. Good night, Cowboys Nation and all the other nations. That makes you miss my granny. We talk like this for hours. This was fun. Yeah. Subscribe, Holly Pierce. Holly Pierce, you got a channel? Let's see. All right. Well, everybody say a prayer for Philly 500. He's having a rough time coming to the realization that his team sucks. And I will see y'all later. Peace.
Disrespected yet? Does this defense have any heart?
No. They suck. I've been telling you all season, Philly.
Shit on you. They've shit on you. Don't you hear me? Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Slate. They shit on you. They've shit on you. They have shit on you. Don't you hear me? Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Slate. They shit on you. Kill them.
Oh my goodness. Did he say